Starting this thing up. Alright, so I generally remember what happened, but what I feel like is always a helpful thing for everybody is if
You broke it.
if we reintroduce everybody, just like kind of like okay, this is who they are, and so we'll just say name, and then like your primary aspect, or like the kind of like the one word phrase to kind of like summarize
one word
character.
Phrase
Or one word
Action.
phrase. Action. Destruction. A one phrase sentence, whatever. But yeah, so
One
then
sentence
quickly
phrase.
summarize like your character and their spiel.
Yeah.
Say some words.
Say some words. Yeah, confirm. And then
Don't do
I'll
what you
try
just
my
did.
best to
Okay.
recap what we've been through the last couple of whatevers.
Right.
So, do you want to start, Mikkel?
So my character is Zuga with a name impronounceable.
Zuga.
Shabu Badnuk.
You do realize you get to name the character, right?
Yes.
Yes.
It's pronounceable, I just need to practice. So, I'm a half-orc barbarian. I'm friends, or at least I'm the bodyguard of a gnome? Are you a gnome?
I am a rock gnome, yeah.
Rock gnome, yes. And I left my noble family because I was in love with a gnome S. And
Anomus.
yes.
Anomus.
And I ended up in a gambling facility. Yes, and during the last two sessions, my character had the biggest brain freeze of his life.
Yeah.
It's like, I cannot think
Didn't
anymore.
you really get really high?
And you
on
took
the
spice.
Yeah, you
Yes,
ate some
yes.
spice bagels.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So they ate some drug bagels, which was always a big thing.
No, I'm sure. Hang on. All right.
Yeah.
My character, Feather Widget, also a half-orc barbarian. She's a delicate snowflake who likes to rip things apart.
It's like nothing, not that accurate at all. Yeah. Nothing like real life. Cool.
Oh, and my character's the same.
Yeah.
Yep. Twitchly Switch. I'm a deep gnome rogue, and I run illicit gambling rings for the rich people of the city, and I hate odd numbers.
I'm Pikel, Dragonborn Ranger, very alcoholic, loves to wander off in search of booze, separate from the group, get into shenanigans. Also likes to mess with his configurations of even numbers, which has led to
Absolute
disagreements.
worst.
Yeah. So there's some disagreements.
These are not
We've
also
had
not
words.
method.
We've had some words.
Also method.
Yeah.
Just getting in character.
All of them. Everyone.
I am Hypochondrius, a high elf wizard who learned the great art of magic, so I don't have to really do things myself, more have the magic do it for me.
Yeah.
Not a huge fan of dirty things, or just things in general. Yeah, and I stumbled upon this party after a debacle back in my hometown.
Teleportation spell
Poor guy.
gone wrong.
Yeah.
Poor guy, and now he's stuck with us.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's think about that. So I'm trying to like recap the story. So pretty much, you all start in the town of Redlark. There was a group of delegates that had gone missing after some initial adventures. At that point, you said, "Okay, we're going to go find these. We're going to go help these delegates. We're going to make a bunch of money. You know, this seems like a pretty promising place for us to, spend our time as adventurers." Then from there, you went north. You found a tower where these wind acolytes were kind of doing some sketchy things. Found out that they were kind of like an outpost for this deeper complex that was like buried at the end of this valley where the tower overlooks. You guys went in there, and gals, and immediately just like ran into this room, start taking drugs.
Really? What happened?
Well, I mean, you were there. You're the one that took the drugs.
Oh, yeah, I remember now.
Don't remember.
It messed with my memory.
Yes.
I blacked out. I don't know what happened.
yeah.
So you guys took some spice.
Was it the breads?
Yeah, it's the bread. Yeah.
Yeah.
you all took some spice, and then this thing is gonna like start flying. So loud. Anyways, you all took some spice, and then through that, garnered the attention of the guards of that area, and then had to go on the run to.
Sorry. Go ahead.
What was that?
Oh, I think the pizza's there.
Oh, nice.
No, that's
I
mine.
forgot mine.
Okay.
What's that?
We have to share dice.
Dice.
Oh, I have a
I forgot
bunch
mine,
of
yeah.
dice. Yes. I know
Sorry, I
it's
didn't mean to.
something.
Just
I'll finish your spiel and then I'll get dice.
Yeah.
But yeah, so pretty much, actually I should wait for Mikkel because he probably does not know what happened. So we probably should fill him in anyways. Alright, let me grab my dice then. That sounds vaguely inappropriate.
just touching your dice over there.
Touch some dice.
Time to touch some dice.
Do you happen to have a microwave?
I do indeed.
Do you mind if I reheat some food?
Of course.
Thank you.
Feel free.
I'm gonna do that. You guys ordered pizza, yeah?
I don't. Yeah.
that what
I don't-
he's
I
grabbing?
think
That's what
it's
Mikhail ordered, yeah.
Okay, cool.
So I also have some of your all's fate chips here.
Great.
Along, this is my die. Oh, no, this is your extra dice.
Can't do pizza
That one
today.
is-
Yeah.
This one is mine,
Good.
and then all the rest are for everybody.
I think
You're
I can
welcome. I think I can do this.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, my
And then
appetite.
here is a bunch of dice for all y'all.
Thank you.
Thanks
pretty
to
sick
Jason's
though, right?
place. What's that?
That's pretty cool, huh?
It looks amazing. Upgraded.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Ugh. Yeah. So you guys fought the tower, went to the base. What else happened? You guys were in the basement area.
We fought the chick and then
Yeah, you kind of dodged the traps, fought the chick. And you guys got a bunch of items, which you have not
Oh.
identified yet.
yeah, I have that. What is it?
You have a
I
dagger.
have a dagger. That was what it was.
I
blue
have
dagger.
a something else, like a staff or
Yeah,
something.
I
like
really
a
wish I had
stick or
found something.
You have a
Yeah.
wand, I think.
Okay.
Both of you all do not know what they are yet.
Okay.
But
We will when we take a
one
long
of them
rest,
like
right?
lifted somebody into the air, right?
That was me.
Yeah.
But don't. How many long rests does it take? 2?
Just one.
Oh, just one. So we'll know what they are now.
Yeah,
Well,
for
we
long
haven't
rest.
long rested.
Oh, you're right.
Do you have a fork I can steal?
Yes, right to the right of the sink is like the flat drawer, right below the microwave.
Great, thank you.
He actually doesn't use forks. He uses his fingers.
I mean, just chew on things, right? Guys.
So
go.
if I don't know what it is yet, do I not yet add it to my inventory?
Probably. I would say like add it to like the notes section.
Okay, just to remember
Yeah.
that I have this
Yeah.
unidentified thing. Okay.
This computer just loves to like melt itself for some reason. It's always like ah. It's the one annoying thing about this damn thing is it just like. always on
Do
the
you
phone.
run something on the computer to keep track of everything?
Yeah, so like I have like Google Docs open, which like Chrome is like the most consumptive
Oh,
software
yeah.
you could possibly have on your computer. So maybe I should just log in. I should just log into Firefox, which will like be fine. Yeah, but Chrome is like, how can I melt your stuff today?
Okay, Francis.
Maybe I'll do
Continue with me, otherwise you'll never start.
We just wanted to update you
Can
on
I
what
steal
we did
some
last
of
time.
that?
Yeah.
Francis, eating.
Hungry?
I'm hungry too.
Mm-hmm.
It's num
To swallow. To
That's not great, right?
kid. Yeah.
This is safe to microwave?
What?
Is this plastic
I mean,
microwave safe?
It is today.
It is now.
How bad could it really be? You know.
Wow.
I take the approach. I take the approach.
Give or take a few decades, we'll find out.
But I mean, I take the approach that if they can't solve this by the time it's a
They
problem,
take
we're screwed
two-
anyways,
for,
right? Like, it's like Diet Coke. It's like, yeah, I know there's probably some
No,
repercussion.
not like over here.
There's probably some repercussion, but man, if they don't have it solved by the time I'm 70, something else is gonna have killed me.
And the thing
And it's
is,
still
I'm
on
okay
the-
with
oh,
going
we're
out at
checking
70
the
having
guy's
drank
correct
Diet Coke my whole life.
Yeah,
Face, which is
It's fine.
that is fine by me.
this is like a real face.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's like we're still doing it.
Sorry, I was starving.
He doesn't hate it.
No, you don't hate it, huh?
If you try that with kale, you'll have kale all over the floor.
Yeah, we tried that with Kale.
Yeah.
Confirmed. Oh yeah, so you guys went into this dungeon where you took Spice, got a little sidetracked. Hey, I mean, it happens to the
We're
best
still
of
in the
us.
same dungeon?
No.
No, so we, you guys fought the, guys and gals fought the
Chick.
chick there. When you reached there, you uncovered a lot of gold. They got a bunch of gold, I think, each. You found an amulet, which is what everybody knows, but what everybody doesn't know.
No, we don't know.
No,
that
they don't know I
You
have
don't know
it.
you
They don't know I
found
have
it?
anything.
Okay, so
I thought you're right. You're right.
No, yeah,
you're
we
right.
don't know
They
about
don't
it.
get anything. Okay,
Mm-mm.
yeah.
I rolled
So-
like, when you guys tried to see, I rolled like a 17 or a 19 or something.
Yeah.
It was great.
Okay, so you are just chilling. You found a.
We are in battle.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
We're chilling in battle. Cool.
yeah, we're chilling in battle. Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Well, I don't think it's initiative. It's just initiative's over. You're just dealing with the after that, which we'll get to. So pretty much, after you all got your items, you got a dagger that you have not identified. You got a wand that you have not identified. Everybody got a decent chunk of gold.
So
You discovered that you needed to you wanted to find the next of, and this lady is saying one of the ladies you rescued, one of the delegates, says that she's missing an amulet. I think is what she told you guys so far, right? Yes, she told you guys about that. Okay. So she told you all that she's missing an amulet, and that without it,
One at a
she will
time.
never
One
find
at a
the other delegates. I don't know if she got. What do you all know about this situation? So I don't like spoilers.
She told us that she needs to find the other delegates and that the amulet could help do that, right?
Yeah.
Yep. And she said that there was something about coworkers in the north.
Yeah. So then there are something. Yeah. So then some of her people are in the north, and so you had a few options. You could either reveal that you had an amulet, which did tell you where the other ones were.
And I said, absolutely
And
not. Yep.
that did not happen. You had another option, which was you could interrogate the person back at the tower for information about where the other delegates were taken, because the person that ran the tower was kind of orchestrating some of this capture. And then the third option was to try to, I think, fight with her, right? Fight with the lady to kind of like, or to like to go and like, go back to a town and try to like gather.
Yeah,
yeah.
wanted us to
Oh,
go
yeah.
back and talk.
Oh yeah, we know that.
We
We
didn't
know
wanna
where
go
the
back.
delegates were most recently seen, whatever time that was.
Yeah, so you could either go do some investigation work, see if you could find out where the other ones have been taken. You can either interrogate this person at this tower, or you could look into this this other option. Okay, so then pretty much we decided to interrogate the person. You all went over there and started fighting with him. It's pretty tough.
It's an enhanced interrogation.
It's an enhanced interrogation. And I think you all discovered a little bit. Like, I think you discovered that there was something to the north. Or sorry, was it? No.
We discovered that
there was something
he-
to the west. Oh yeah.
And we discovered that he had some, like, wasn't he trying to piece something together? Am I crazy?
Yes.
He was like, you can rule with me, I don't want other people to have power over me, or something like that.
Yeah. So yeah, he did say something
Totally
about trying to collect different pieces.
Yeah.
Which that I think is right. And then yeah, he suggested that I think that he was at, like, I don't know who he was talking to, but I think he told someone that he was going west. And I don't think he got any more specific than that.
Yeah, I think that's all I know.
and then he bailed off
And
the
then
top.
you guys are in his office now. That's right. Okay, yeah. Okay, I remember.
We almost killed him, and then he
Yeah, so
fled.
you guys fought him. He was looking pretty rough. He fell over the side of the building. Probably died.
carried away by the wind.
Yeah, probably died. Yeah, it's a very, very strong wind that's been carrying people away before. But yeah, so he fell off the side of the building. You all are in the top 2 levels of this tower. I wish I still had one of these players' handbook here. I wish I still had the drawing on my beautiful artwork.
When did you order it?
7:22.
Why do I forget
That's
everything?
about right. It
I'm
took
dumb.
45 minutes.
So there's a desk in this room, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So pretty much, you're still standing over the door,
Yep.
blocking the exit.
Yeah.
Oh, there's more.
There's more people.
There were people trying to come
up.
up.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can just draw it again. I may as well make life simple. I'll put it over here, and then I will get a pen. Ah, everything is chaos, people. Everything. Oh, here we go. Okay, so pretty much there's the top floor with the
Oh,
four
fancy pen.
pedestals. I know. I learned from Andre from 5 Stars. Was like, you gotta buy these pens.
Oh,
I was like,
no.
okay.
Don't let Andre convince you to buy things.
I was like, oh, alright.
What's he doing now?
It's a pen.
I'm
Product
buying.
managing and buying expensive things.
Every week he gets some new kitchen gadget.
And he
Like,
orders
he
so
unboxes at work.
And he orders so much clothing, and he's like, "Well, yeah, I just ordered all, and then like I pick the things that I like, and then send the rest back."
Well, I do that too, but
But like an obscene amount of clothing, like at least a couple of packages a week full of clothing.
yeah.
And I'm like,
It's
that's
just so funny. He sends it all to work.
right.
He's opening it.
I didn't know about this. All like the INTJs are like, I'm watching you and judging.
Judging.
And then I realized I can't take
Introvertedly.
him seriously because he's unboxing it wearing that giant furry purple jacket, and I'm just like. I don't know how to respond to this. Right? What I'm
Why do
seeing
you
right
need more clothes when you have that? It
Why would you
seems
wear
like
anything but
You
that?
already nailed it.
You figured out the look.
Yeah.
Right, sorry.
Anyway.
No, that's totally valid. But yeah, anyways, so top tower for, so you guys are down here. So, Feather Widget is
There we
here.
go.
I was hiding under
You
the
were
desk.
hiding in
Something
here.
in his head.
So
No,
let's
no,
put
it's
it-
fine.
When you
Go
can,
a little.
see, when you
I
can
can
see
just put
the
some
air.
big-
No, you
It's
were
the only
under
dice-
the desk,
the
and
only
then you
dice that
ran
really
somewhere else.
matters
And I,
Oh,
Feather
that's
Widget.
You're under the
right.
desk.
where did you go? I'm
You're
under the desk.
because
now,
we
but where
started
did you
running.
go?
I ran up the stairs to try to stop him on his way out,
Oh, okay.
and so I'm actually in the hallway. She's under the desk.
I was like pretty hurt, which is why I think I went under.
Am I the
desk.
only one actually up top?
I think you might be because I think someone went up, which is probably you because you were throwing your like fireball things
Yeah.
at her or at him or whoever it was, and then I was coming up the stairs, but I don't think I'd made it all the way out yet.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense. So yeah, so I think the only person whose positioning matters now is Feather Widget, and she's still standing over the door, blocking what feels like
Thousands
these
of men.
attackers. So there's like a few. So like
How can
So,
they
yeah, so
pack
around
them
Feather
together?
Widget.
Are they very tiny?
So around Feather Widget, there are like there are 2 corpses that are just like these guards just laid out. Around the hallway, you see the entrance to this guy's office. The door is open because he left hurriedly, and then you can see kind of some stuff turned over where inside where Twitchley was ripping through stuff or just like knocking stuff over and trying to find cover. Up the other stairway is just open and deserted, like it's kind of been emptied. And then you see some stairs go up to the roof. On the roof, those who are up there.
I'm in the stairway.
You're in the stairway. Okay, so those who are up there, just see those 4 pedestals, the griffins that you all brought in, kind of at the far end. And then I think Alana, is that her name right? The main
Alara or
Alara.
Alana? I'm not sure.
Let me see.
He
Alara.
probably has called her both.
Alara.
Alara.
Huh?
I said he probably called her both at
Yeah.
different times.
Yeah, Alara, who has a very confusing name.
You like
She she is also on the roof, I think now. Like, and she tried to follow and pursue him on his escape, but the what was his name? I actually wrote a name for him. No.
Don Julio.
You got it. Ah. Oh, that's Salazar. There you
It's
go.
called Marcus.
Marcus. Marcus too.
Marcus is anyone that dies.
Salazar. Oh yeah, so you're at the top of this tower again.
Did he just like wake up from his spice coma?
Yeah, you just woke up from you've been with him the whole time. You just were like, oh man, woo! Hey, what's happening, guys?
Well, are we fighting? Okay.
Yeah. So pretty much, you went to the top of that tower that overlooks the valley that you all were in earlier to confront the guy there, the main guy that you had like kind of had interactions with before Salazar, to try to find information about where the next delegate.
Yeah.
So like the delegates, it seems like they were brought to that valley and were split up, and kind of each one was brought to somewhere else, and the one that you met up with, Alara, is telling you, hey, we need to find the other delegates before something bad happens, and also promising reward.
Do they
for those,
need all
those.
the delegates or just one for something bad to happen?
So you're
Well,
not
one's
sure.
already died, so I mean,
Yeah, so we'll just have to.
One's died.
yeah. When we 2 sessions ago, before we had our big fight, and we were in that quicksand room, and there was the guy tied up, and the little thing ate him.
We don't know if that was a delegate. We just know that someone got killed down there.
Okay, I thought we were pretty sure it was a delegate.
We also
I
know
mean, we
that,
took a guess at it.
like, she started admitting that they're like definitely not just like Doctors Without Borders, right? They are
Yeah.
like there's like something sinister going on, or it's
They
not
turn
it's
on
not a
people
mission of
for
peace, is what
Wizards
she said,
without
right?
whereabouts.
So good. That's perfect.
Yeah, so she like alluded to the fact that it,
Where's the fake?
He gets a point for that.
Oh yeah, I should have.
Okay,
checked
and
this
whoever
I
grabbed
have,
whatever you
and I have one more from last time.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I don't remember if I've used mine.
too. Yeah, I don't think I have. I think I have 2.
Yeah, here, just collect and give me whatever's left over because I'll need them. I can get some more chips if I need
I
them.
think I used mine.
no,
No.
you used one last time.
Yeah, okay.
I don't remember if we.
Do you have one,
I got
Fred?
5.
No, I don't think so.
Nice, alright, perfect. Then I have some guineas to send away. Okay, so, yeah, so from what you've gathered, there's
good?
something kind of to the west in terms of maybe one of the other delegates would be. And you all are at the top of this tower. There's still banging happening beneath the door that you're sitting on. So, Featherwitch, you hear just kind of this like more desperate slamming, just like beneath your feet, kind of rattling where your heels are, and the rest of the team.
Okay. I want to run down the stairs and start trying to push the desk,
Okay.
and realizing that I'm nowhere near strong enough to push the desk, so I'll look over at Zuga and be like, hey, you need to come over and make up for your subpar bodyguarding as of late. I'm going to need you to push this over the door.
You're still alive.
You need to earn your paycheck and push the desk over the door.
I am still under the desk, but he can't see me, and I'm like
Okay,
pushing
I'm
the other way. Like,
I'm pushing the desk.
He's like, it's so
This should
heavy!
not be this difficult.
Give a stealth roll against his perception.
Yeah.
20.
This
Yeah.
guy.
So I'm pushing the desk. Strength to
Yeah, and then you'll do a strength.
5. So
Oh, that's a nat 1.
And that is a nat 20.
After all these years of her stealing your odd numbered and making your things odd numbered,
And I'll just glare now. It was you! Every time it was you!
so his rage is so strong that you take
Oh
2 points of damage just
So-
of sheer shame.
I'm
Just
also
shame
trying.
damage.
I'm also trying to push the
no!
desk.
Yeah, he
23.
slaps me.
He just
23?
Yes.
Ah.
I'm at 23 for pushing
Okay.
the desk.
All right, so then you see them squabbling over like, you're messing with my desk, no, you're, and then you just lift it up and then just walk out of the room and put it on top of the trapdoor that.
Wait, but I'm still standing on it. This is
I-
what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
I
I
mean,
mean-
it's a big enough hallway where you can kind of like squeeze the desk to the side of you, unless.
But
you
I'm like completely daydreaming at this point.
Yeah, so then you can move out of the way.
I mean, you could stop us from blocking the door if you want.
I'm just saying, do I notice?
You see,
Wait,
it's a
you're
pretty big
daydreaming?
desk. You can
Wow.
notice.
That's a half-orc
Zuga
carrying a
coming-
desk.
Yeah, you can notice Zuga carrying a pretty hefty desk down the hall. And,
Is there drawers in that desk or is it
Yeah, you see on the
Everyone has-
on the front. There's probably like kind of like very similar to this, but with just drawers on one side.
And
So you see a number of like.
did someone search them?
Yeah, have we looked yet? I don't think so.
Because
I
I
think so.
want to do that.
Okay, so as you set the desk down, you open one of the drawers. You look at the next, and there's a kind of a sheaf of papers. You look at the next one, and the one on the bottom, it seems jammed.
Okay.
Hmm.
I'm
So-
going to throw the desk on the floor. I mean, on the trap as hard as possible, I guess.
Okay.
17 plus 5.
Okay, so
20.
you throw the desk down. Two of the legs break. It slunks over to the side, but that cabinet is still shut tightly.
Huh.
Needs magic or needs a key?
What is the desk made of?
It looks like kind of red oak, so it's sort of like very strong, pretty solid wood.
How high is the trapdoor from the floor below?
It's another stair. You can tell from the one on the other side. It's about like an 8-foot staircase down that just kind of winds around the tower, kind of a curved staircase, just like follows the wall.
And there's people pushing to the side.
There's people pushing their way up, but
So
now
I
with the
can't-
weight of the desk, it's blocking them off.
Yeah, so we can maybe open the trap, launch the desk, close the trap.
Well, I'd
wait
like to
for the
try
desk.
I'd like to try to lockpick the drawer before you throw it away.
Okay. You have one
We'll
try.
handle that.
Okay, so
I'm taking the sheet of paper too and trying to release.
Yeah, go ahead and.
Is that an
so
item
Yeah, you're going
that
through the
we
sheets of paper. Give
have?
me a. I think it would be.
what type of?
Explorer's
18.
I have.
Whatever,
it would be
I have
a,
lockpicks as one of my items. So
I think it
torches
would be
we
an
can burn your
investigation
desk.
check on this one.
well, it will be. For him,
Yeah, for him it's investigation. For you, it's probably
sleight of hand.
sleight of hand
So
or
18.
acrobatic or
Did I say
dexterity.
18?
It'd be a dex
Yeah, it's
check.
sleight of hand.
Yeah,
Sorry.
18.
Okay, so you look at the papers and you read a few. The only lines you're able to pick out, Mikhail, are
Yes.
lines about a monastery and something about
A
paying
monastery.
monks in the West.
What language is it in?
It is in just common.
Okay, I'll give the paper to someone more intelligent than me.
Hand it over. Hand it over. What do we got here?
So you wanted somebody intelligent.
I can read, but
This
I'm
coming
pretty
from
sure.
the orc barbarian.
Very. I have many
I can-
talents.
I can read it, although I'm way upstairs.
Yeah, you're-
I walked down.
Okay, you walk down.
I walked
I'm
down.
making a paper plane. I'm sending it to him first.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so you catch the paper plane, you look through it, and yeah, a lot of the same information. It sounds like it looks almost like a shipping manifest where there are a number of packages delivered to a monastery in. Let me see, the Desert Valley. Where's the map of that?
it's actually in the book, which means it's important to go to.
Definitely.
Lucky I have.
Not just made up on the spot. I'm taking.
Valley.
Meanwhile, I rolled a 6 to unlock the drawer, so I'll be like, "Nah, guys, this has got to be one of the
It's
toughest
impossible.
locks. This is literally an impossible lock to pick. Trust me, I've picked almost every lock that's ever been invented in my day, and this one, not pickable.
It's not possible.
No one can do it."
It's actually just like a grocery
So, yeah,
twist tie.
you find that the monastery is between the Crypt Garden Forest and the Sword Mountains.
Both sound like lovely vacation
Yeah.
spots.
Where are we?
So
That
right
could
up
be
there.
our next stop.
So it's so you all are in here, like about central
Okay,
north in
it's
the
not
hills.
too far.
So it's about pretty much due west of y'all.
Okay.
And I'm gonna put a little chip there.
Can I try and break open the lock with my great axe?
Go ahead and give me a strength check, or it would be a. Yeah, I think that's fine.
26.
So you see
Nice.
Twitch like, it's not possible, and you just kind of and chunk, and then just the thing, just the whole front.
Francis.
It's all good.
Doesn't
Break
feel-
Nothing
Luckily, it's
broken?
quite
Nothing
good.
broken, nothing
No,
broken.
no.
It's all good. That's why we have a. That's why we have a rug. It absorbs
Exactly.
liquid.
Soaks it all up.
It absorbs liquid.
You're the.
We'll fill my wine up though. Yeah, with a little napkin.
Yeah.
Oh, do you guys need paper towels? Paper towels are right above the sink.
Yes.
I have one, but it's a little food covered, so maybe not this
Yeah.
one.
Just wipe it right into the rug.
I mean,
Yeah.
I actually don't mind. I'm like,
That's
I feel like a good Rugger house has to have some spills in it.
That's true.
Plus, you chose white wine, so.
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
Oh,
Goodness.
yeah. Okay, yeah. So you chuck open the front, and then what you see in that locked
But
cabinet.
before that, I just want to turn to Twitch over here and just be like, impossible to open, is it?
I said impossible to lock pick. I don't normally resort to
If only you're
such.
as intelligent
I don't
as
normally
me.
resort to such barbaric ways of doing things, but by all means,
Maybe you should
break
try in
break
the
the fine
future.
furniture.
Perhaps you should try and upgrade to barbarian.
Well, its
So,
resale value is so much lower
yeah.
after you break into it.
Yeah, so what's in there?
So yeah. So as you open it up, you see a few rows, like just 3 rows of gold coins. Besides those, you see one ring. It looks almost to be this like kind of coiled, like kind of blue and green metal. It's kind of going around in a circle. Like kind of like it's almost like it's like knotted on itself. And then you see another series of papers that look, but the majority of them look to be maps. But some of them seem to have like almost a detective dossier where they have a kind of a sketch of someone and then just some information about a few different people.
Ooh.
I got the ring.
Delegates.
Can I have the rose? Some coins.
Please. So you have seen that there is this take in there. Or actually, well, you've definitely seen it. They maybe have seen it. So there's about 400 gold pieces in there.
Yeah, I probably would have walked away.
Okay, you would have walked away. Okay, so there's 400 gold pieces that you see, and you see the ring, and you see these papers and maps.
First, I grab the ring.
Okay, so you grab the ring.
You put it on.
You put it on.
You're not a frog.
You put it on?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so you
I'm a
feel
greedy
you feel a faint
Barbarian.
you feel a faint sense of just this kind of like you took like an enormously deep breath. You kind of like feel your lungs fill up, and you just you just want to like go and just run. Like, you kind of just have this like enormous sense of like energy, and that's all you can sense right now.
Cool. I put 100 gold in my bag,
Okay, so you put 100 gold in your bag.
and then
So that's your
I
pocket.
kindly shout out to everyone else. Hey guys, there's some gold in here and some papers. Come hither.
Okay.
Also, who wants to go for a
So
jog?
you guys can roll
Did he close the door?
insight, or you guys can
Huh?
roll
Did he close the door?
So.
I take no
Yeah.
part in the gold.
investigation checks. Okay, so you take no part in the gold. You all can roll investigation checks to see if you've noticed that some gold was pilfered from this stash before it was notified. So
Sure.
feel free to roll 20 investigation.
Somebody must have broken in here before us.
What?
That's in that one.
I'll redo it. What is that? 6 plus.
Hey, buddy.
What is it? Investigation? Oh, 6.
6.
Hey, Daddy's coming back soon.
He's gone forever. He's Jeffrey's baby now.
Yeah, I'm your mother. Jeffrey's your father.
Not stoked.
What's your character name? What's your North Star?
What's your backstory?
He's like, huh? Backstory what?
Roll for initiative.
Yeah, roll for initiative. The cutest initiative ever rolled. Okay, so nobody. So you say, "Oh, looks good. This seems very, very solid. Thank you, for being so giving and telling us all about
So generous.
what you discovered.
Like she said in the
Really, really
beginning.
appreciate it. It means a lot. Like you all are touched. Like that's not something most people would do.
I'm not touched.
No.
Please don't touch me.
Yeah, it's nobody. No touching.
I just go shh
Uh-oh.
and like drain my fingers across your face.
Nice. Jared can set up a little
Ooh.
tray over on the outside there. And I'll bring some
Oh
big
yeah,
plates.
there's more trays.
You're not.
What's
Oh.
The food.
I've
Did
come
you get your
prepared.
dinner hand? What's going on?
He's like for pizza.
It's a new box.
Okay. There you go. And then I got
hasn't
some
been
big
drooled
plates
on
for
yet.
y'all.
Don't worry, guys. Drinks are on me at the pub later. Yeah,
There's a bed in there.
We'll find a problem.
I've recently come into money through other circumstances.
No,
Unrelated.
That's unrelated. I'm a very wealthy lady.
Independently wealthy.
Yes, it's a family money.
Oh, here we are. Oh, couldn't locked in again. All right.
That's how I feel when I see breadsticks too.
Yeah, I understand, buddy.
So if
I
make
feel
that
ya.
turn.
That's the problem with paleo is you can't do that, little guy. Okay.
Is anybody having it?
I'm having some.
Okay, good. I was looking for that.
Let's see. All right. So you all see the gold. You see the. Did you take the ring? Or you took the ring.
I took the ring.
You see the gold in the papers. So yeah, 300 gold just lined up nicely in stacks, and then a set of papers right beside them. They're kind of like
200.
dossiers.
Wait.
200.
It's lining in stacks when
No, it was
from
400.
Oh, okay.
the desk on the floor and the legs broke.
Huh?
How the golds is lining in stacks when I throw the desk on the floor and
Oh, it's like it's against the far wall, the one that went like downside. They restack themselves.
magic gold.
Yeah, it's magic gold.
Someone
Yes.
wants to speak to us?
You can just keep it over there and pass me one.
Yeah. What do you want?
Whatever that is.
Normally
It's fine.
find your second one.
Cheese is fine. Oh, thank you, Francis.
Like, let me get it for you.
Thank you.
Never laid a woman's heart. It's pizza.
Already young.
Okay, so on you all.
So, after they've kind of cleared out of the area, if no one else is taking it, I'm going to go sort of rifle through the like the dossiers, the profiles that they have on people. Are they all in a language that I read?
Yeah, they're all in common. Pretty much everything is in common, and pretty much you just see a few.
Actually, what I want to do is I want to take them to Alara
Okay.
and say
Who are these?
and ask her if she basically, do you recognize any of these?
Yeah. Okay. So you take them to Laura. She looks and says, and then she flips through them, and you see her kind of take one down. She says, Hadrian. And she's like shocked. Hadrian, Lucian. She's like, all of us. They've been watching us for months. Like these are.
So these are the people that we're looking for.
She says, yes, but there are other names I don't recognize. And she holds one up, and like one seems to be like a person kind of wearing like a kind of like a cloak almost, where like all you see is just like the very, very outline of their face. Another person is, has like an enormous set of like middle, like kind of like red middle bands around him. And she's like, these other people. She's like, I've never seen them before.
There was also mention in the paperwork that we saw of some sort of monastery somewhere to the west. Does that mean anything to you?
She like flips through and she says, let me actually see how well she knows this. She says, I think, and she pulls out that picture of the person wearing the kind of like the cloak, and she's like, I think this is one of the monks from the, what's it called? I think it's actually. Okay. This is one of the. This is the monastery, I think, of the Sacred Stone. Is what it's describing. Owned by a man named Renwick.
Do you think there'd be any reason for them to take one of your fellow delegates, I guess, to the monastery?
They've always been peaceful. They've always been very respectful. We actually had discussions with them previously about some of the materials we were transporting.
Materials. What type of materials? Anything dangerous that we should know about? I mean, I for one like myself, so I would rather not get mixed up in any dangerous materials.
You hear a voice in your head, yes, master.
No danger for me, nothing at all. Just a common, everyday, boring life for me. Good old Twitchley.
Yeah.
So what's the secret stone?
So then pretty much she says, you can do a
Can I insight check?
persuasion. I think that would be a persuasion. Oof, yikes.
11.
No, I rolled a 20 on that one. So she says, I'm actually unable to share this information. It's very, very important that I find these other delegates, but
And
they...
I'm just so unable to lend assistance to people who don't trust me, so I feel that we're in an impasse.
She says, well, the reward, I think, will be nearly half a kingdom. So
Can you
hopefully-
give me a precise number on this reward? It's very important that you get this correct.
She says, for the next step in our journey, I would say 10 platinum pieces would be enough for each of you.
Can I be a princess?
Can you
She
give
just
the?
looks at you.
Can
Are
you
you
give
guys
the?
up there? You're still at the desk. You guys
so,
are. You ran over.
If you would be sure to give
Y'all can run over
me,
I'll run over.
We all
I
really-
run
So we're on top
really
now.
fast because
Yeah, because they're on
gives me
top with
energy.
her, and he brought the papers up. Yeah. Okay.
and I'll say, well, obviously it's not up to me. There's many of us here that you'll have to convince, but for my part, that seems doable. It seems reasonable.
Seems
She
minimal.
says that's for the next step in the road, and she says if you come further with me, you all seem strong, and I've lost my most annoying apprentice.
Yeah, poor Marcus. Really missed that guy.
That guy was the worst.
Shame what happened to him.
So sad.
I feel like we still haven't talked about it, you know?
I feel like
Wow.
the wound is too raw. It's too soon.
This is too real.
At least have a wake. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll
his
walk up and ask Alara
Mhm.
where she wants to go.
She says, if the monks were kind to us, if they have any information, I believe we could find it from them.
Can I be a princess?
Princess is someone without title. It's who you are inside that makes you a princess. And she gives you like a slap.
So
on
what
the
she
clap
said
on
was
the
no.
shoulder.
I believe what she was saying.
I don't think you heard me correctly. I'd like to be a princess, which is in itself a title.
We all have dreams.
She says, the
Princess
further you go
of
on
the
this,
half orcs. What do you say to that?
she says, if you can help me find my amulet, we will find something. That
It's a shame we didn't find it back there. Are you sure you didn't leave it in the cave back where we found you?
She just like kind of like, she doesn't even respond. Just gives you like the
Side-eyed.
yeah, the side eye. Side eye only.
Is the object that you were protecting dangerous?
Give me a persuasion check again.
Remind me which dice do I roll?
It will be a
Big one,
D20. So
20.
anything except stuff that's in fights will always be a
20.
D20, which is pretty nice. Let me see, zero.
14.
Okay, so she says, I can't.
Oh,
get
plus
into
2, I guess.
16.
Okay,
16.
She's like, I can get into some detail of what I'm carrying, but there was a ancient force that imprisoned some very, very strong beings into at
Beans.
least my amulet.
Beings. Not
Beings.
Say beans.
The strongest beings.
Magic beans.
Magic beans? Do you spice?
Are they spiced?
Spiced beans.
Which is like some of these beings were imprisoned in these amulets, and they have a penchant for destruction. So we are a bit worried that, how do you say, if someone untrained were to find it,
Could be shame.
there could be some problems.
Make sure that doesn't happen then.
Yes.
absolutely.
What were the? Do these beings have names?
They are elemental beings. So the spirits of wind that combine to form one mind in my particular amulet don't respond to any particular name.
And then, since I can talk to him in my head, now that I figured that out last time, it's like, she doesn't even give you a name. What kind of master was she? I'm gonna call you
You'll learn
Bartholomew.
Yes, master. She was indeed weak. I can show you paths, master. That
I mean,
can bring you great strength.
Anytime you see any of those paths, just point them right out to me.
And he just says, she's lying to you.
Ooh, what's the truth? Give me a question to ask her. Let me barb her back. What you got?
Ask her about my brothers.
Seems dangerous. I'll hold on to that one. That's it.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
So
should we get to this special
you all
stone,
can-
special stones, big stones,
Yeah,
monastery,
big stones on
Giant Stones
Giant stones.
Monastery.
Hefty stones.
hefty,
They named it after me. What can I say?
banana hammock stones.
Yeah. So so you all jump, and with like the basic help of the map, so you're all able to jump onto your griffins, and
Can we take a long rest or something?
yeah, so you can stop in town on the way. It's that smaller town they all went to with that kind of crazy sheriff is on the way. Red Larch, you can also go back to Red Larch. It's a little bit more further out of the way, so might take you a little bit longer. But if you guys think you can handle a mean old sheriff, like
Do you want more pizza?
Yeah, I'll take another slice.
I won't
do you
take
have
anything.
Do you have napkins over there actually?
Napkins? No. Were there napkins?
I have paper
napkins.
towels.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, sorry, it's just kind of
That's
a pain in the ass to get out. Thank you.
Francis the Immortal.
Yeah. That's the destroyer.
Francis.
Here.
Thank you so much.
Hey, little bud. Okay, so you're all's call whether you want to long rest here at the top of the tower and hope that nothing happens. You can long rest in one of the towns, get some more supplies. You all have a little bit more money, so that's a little bit more possible.
Yes, my pockets seem to have gotten quite heavy.
Huh?
My pockets seem to have gotten quite heavy.
Yes, indeed. For some strange,
Miraculous.
unbeknownst reason. So yeah, the other 300 gold, I just assume, is divided up by y'all evenly. So then that's like however much each. I'm not a dev. You can figure it out.
Some math amount to each of you.
Are we gonna go to town?
The closer one? I think we should go to the closer one at the same time.
All right, so you all mount on the griffins, and ride into the nearest town. So in much the same, it's that same kind of small town with a very, very simple pub, and just that old church that was there, I believe, and a few other things. Hey, buddy. Oh, yeah, he's getting hungry.
Thirsty because of the salts. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, and better.
Want wine.
So you get back to the monastery. As you're flying in, you kind of see it's a very, very small town. It's kind of like almost a tea stop in terms of a street where there's a inn, kind of old, just wood, like
Wait,
stone.
we're at the monastery now?
No, you're at the town.
town.
Okay,
Sorry.
sorry.
The town with the
There's an
sheriff.
Yeah, the town with the sheriff. That's right. So there's an inn. There's an old, kind of like a few old buildings. There's that steepled church that you visited, and I think talked to one of the people there, and then. You all fly in, get to the inn. The innkeeper says, welcome back. Good to see you all again.
Indeed. I'm going to be a princess.
Yeah, wonderful, my lady, wonderful. So you all...
there are 1/5 of 3,000 of beer.
Yeah,
The strongest
the
beers
strongest beer you have.
for everyone.
Of course. So you all get a
Drinks
round
on
of
me.
beer, and
Finally.
you all get for 1 gold for the beer, and then 1 gold for the room. And then, so 2 gold down. It's a cheap night tonight.
Oh,
I'm not drinking.
Okay, so 1 gold for you. So then you all take a long rest. You all recover, and who found the items?
Me.
Okay, so yeah. So you find that your dagger, after resting and recharging with your dagger, everyone gets your spell slots back. You get full life, the whole gambit, and Alara has come with you all too. And then so you find that your dagger is called a dagger of bloodletting, where
Nice.
it's a basic dagger. It's just a base dagger, +1 to attack, So like whatever the base dagger attack is, just add 1 to that.
Dagger of bloodletting?
Huh?
Dagger
Yeah,
of
it's a
bloodletting?
dagger of bloodletting. So you'll have to look up in the book. I didn't check myself.
And sorry, it's what?
You get +1 to its base attack, like AC, like attack. And then what its special ability is that it does 1d4 damage to an ally, but then can heal them for 1d10 damage. So the bloodletting dagger, so you can let the blood. Okay, so then yours is the Wand of Secrets, and this wand has 3 charges. While holding it, you can burn one of its charges, and then if a secret door or trap is within 30 feet of you, it pulses and points to it.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
What's it called? Wand of...
The Wand of Secrets.
Careful.
Or a Wand of Secrets. Ooh. But yeah. So those are the 2 items we identified.
Nice.
The ring that you have, you try to plumb its depths while you're resting, but you can only kind of understand. You've already taken so much of your time to understand. Ooh, I would just be careful about him pulling on those because those will definitely break. Okay. And I already am missing a number of them.
Did you pull on? You were curious too.
I was.
Yeah.
I was trying to climb on. I wanted to get their view. And it didn't go well. But yeah. So the ring, you find that you can't with the image you used identify what are its properties.
So it'll take another long rest, most likely.
Huh?
So it'll probably take another long rest.
Most likely. Okay. So I'm. Okay, so you all are in town. You get back to the room. There's a few soldiers coming in. They're kind of having drinks and shooting the bull and laughing. There's a few townspeople that look like they're just kind of huddled over their beers. They're very like it's for a bar. It's quiet as it gets. Like there's just kind of the clink of glasses, not much conversation, just some like more whispering and just kind of like
Even
like
with
this.
the free beers?
Even with the free beers. Yeah, it's your party is has your beer, y'all are happy, but yeah, everybody else in kind of the bar is very very just like
This is in the morning.
heads down, looking at their plates, and seem very tired.
I've already drained my beer.
Yeah.
Bartender, do you have anything stronger than beer?
Oh, I think we do. He it'll be 1 gold piece for you, ma'am. And he pulls out this kind of this like bottle that just kind of like looks golden, but it has like some kind of like rich like orange liquid in it. He pours it out and then he hands it to you, and as he hands it to you, see that it's actually like smoking a little bit.
I forgot.
It's the strongest stuff we've got.
Do we know if the people in this town know anything? Have the delegates ever made it to this town?
The delegates came through here, yeah.
Yeah. So the delegates came into this town. They never made it to Red Larch, the place where y'all started.
Okay. I'll take the bottle.
Okay. So you take the bottle. He says, "Righto,
But only
ma'am."
if you share it with me.
He says, "That will be 5 gold pieces then."
Alright.
One.
And then he now seems like he's super accommodating. He's like, "Anything else you need, man, let me know."
Tell me, did you see any strange folks come through here?
Well, we had a couple days back the delegates come through. Nice chaps then. But we've been seeing some different folks of late. And, he says I can't talk too much about this, but a few of our neighbors are deciding to leave the valley permanently, which is it's been a bit hard on us. A few people are picking up shop, going somewhere different.
I refill his...
So you mean they're free home now around here?
Yes, they've sold their homes, but they put their homes for sale, but we don't rightly know if anybody's going to come. Been kind of quiet lately.
Any particular reason?
So loud. Street noise. I'm just gonna close this.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, so he says, well, there have been some reports lately.
He said, put pizza box.
Aww.
I ain't nobody.
Life's tough.
Guy.
Wants to go outside.
Yeah. But he says there's been some reports of late where people's sheep have gone missing. There have been some strange, just animals coming around. A few shepherds reported that a whole flock disappeared. We've just been, how do you say, a little bit nervous.
Well, let me tell you a story about that, my good man. Many years ago, a very similar village to yours was having some similar problems with a centaur. And let me tell you.
I hate centaurs.
At this point, I've heard the story like 10 times, so I walk away.
What
Let me tell you, my
what do people
friends.
think it is?
Is it this same story every
Right
time?
now, there haven't been
Yes.
very many who cited any of these particular happenings. A few people have seen just the results. You
Do
know,
they happen at
kid
night or
goes
during
missing.
the day?
They mostly happen in right at the morning time, right as the sun comes up.
But let me tell you, my friend, you're in good hands now that I'm here. I am something
Roll
of
me
a
a persuasion check.
folk hero.
Or a deception check, your call.
That's higher.
We all know the truth of what happened back in that town. Or at least...
Or deception. They're the same. Okay, it doesn't matter. 10.
He says, I'm very thankful for your help.
I'm just saying, you should rest easy. Sleep well tonight. In fact, have another drink.
That I may take you up on. And he takes another drink. And,
Cheers.
yeah, clinks.
My hair is standing on end, just smoking a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, so give me also a constitution check because you've had a few drinks now.
Okay.
Constitution saving throw. Do I have a d20 somewhere? Here's another one too if you want an extra.
Where's Constitution? Okay.
It's just straight. Yeah.
It's a 16?
Okay. So you're like
She can hold her
feeling
alcohol.
kind of warm, a little warm in the face, but
Ooh, I feel great.
yeah, but still
Could
up.
spit a
Still-
fireball right now.
You're still firing. You're still ready to go. Okay, so then,
I should do it. I should do a fireball. I'm a dragonborn. I can.
you can't.
Oh man, that's a great bar trick.
Everyone, want to see me spit a fireball?
Yes, huzzah!
No, drink fireball.
And I'll like talk to whoever's next and be like, you really should see it. It's quite something.
It's quite nice. It's quite exciting.
Really fantastic, if I'm honest.
She's dragonborn. Don't you see?
I'm telling you all, if any of you know anything about any delegates,
Talk to me first.
talk to me.
So you shout that to the.
I'll
you
do.
shout that to the
Yeah,
bar?
yeah. I'm shouting to the bar. I'm standing on the table. Like,
I don't think I've ever face palmed faster than I do when I hear her say this.
I'm cheering her on.
So you hear one man say, and he looks like he's all scarred up, and he says, "There were a bunch of lying bastards. They
Oh.
brought this on us." And Alara just looks outraged.
Is
and
she
she starts
drinking?
just marching over up to this person.
Is she drinking? I'm gonna see.
No, she hasn't been
drunk.
drinking.
As she marches over, I'll cast my mage hand to try to put a little pressure on her stop and try and get her attention and just give her the shake my head no.
Okay, so you tap on her shoulder. She looks up and you shake your head down. So go ahead and deception or persuasion, intimidation or persuasion.
Persuasion. I'm not trying to intimidate her.
Okay.
you get regs.
That's not good. It's an 8.
So let's see. I'll roll against that. Ooh, I got a 1. So she
No, and
she stops, but it's very the whole room is watching this very well dressed woman just march across a country bar.
I'll intercept at this point.
Yeah.
She stopped and be like, it's a very, very touchy subject for my friend here. She just actually just raised her first sheep, and it's disappeared all of a sudden. Absolutely. That scourge they've brought upon us.
I'm like,
You know what you have to do. Roll deception.
8 plus 7. 15.
I'll be on my way.
Oh, you gotta hit us.
Oh,
Alright, Mikhail, give me a big hug.
Okay, see you next time.
Thanks for coming.
Hopefully I will not have the baby.
It's all good.
It's all good.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah, nice meeting you.
Good
We'll
seeing
try
you,
to
man.
keep you alive, okay?
Bye, little guy. I'll help you
Bye.
out.
And Zuga is now my meat shield in front of me for the rest of the game.
Did he
Yeah,
always
secretly
say
has
some
narcolepsy
spice
or
donuts?
something. Yeah, he just like keeps falling asleep.
Like,
Just keeps
ask
eating
the
donuts.
bartender, like, can we keep our friend in one of your beds for like a couple weeks
I'm a
here?
little worried about Suga. I think he might have
Is this yours?
problems.
Yes. And then there's a jacket. Is that? No, that's somebody else's. Okay,
It's
cool.
the spice
This is
together.
very different than the bars that we have back where I come from. Usually at our bars in the morning, there's mimosas and avocado toast. High elves don't squabble with beer and
None of that.
That gross.
None of that food shit.
Wait, there's no avocado toast here?
What a travesty.
Barkeep, your finest mimosa and avocado toast.
Well, that's where I'm from. Kill the rats.
So give me
That's
a
what they serve
persuasion
every
check
day.
on that. Or give me an intimidation check.
On it.
Oh dear.
What type of pizza is the one on top?
It's like a chicken and tomato, it looks like.
It's chicken. Yeah, it's like chicken bacon.
Interesting. Like, I don't know the cheese actually.
Cheese.
Never mind, I've clearly walked into the wrong establishment. I have a 2.
So he says.
I actually have -1 intimidation.
Nice.
Wait, really?
So he looks at you and just goes, right. And he just gets a bowl and it looks like this like meat goo. And he puts his finger in it. Hands it to you.
And
Don't
you
make it
eat
like
it
that
like
in
a
my world.
champ.
I immediately set the bowl down, and I will happily get to this later. Just don't have much of an appetite right now.
My girlfriend's not hungry.
My girlfriend's not hungry.
She's not.
And then I turn to him and I go, I can eat that.
So and you rolled pretty
15.
okay. So most of the townspeople look away, but this dude is just still just watching watching Alara, and he's just mad dogging her.
I want to walk up to him,
Okay.
swaying a little bit, but mostly
Yeah.
still sober. Not
Yeah.
sober,
You
but
take another drink.
yeah, I swig from the bottle a little
All
bit.
right, give me another con check.
Again?
Yeah.
I mean, if you keep drinking.
I mean, how am I not going to keep drinking though? I'm
I mean,
holding a
That's
handle.
what's exciting.
What a disaster.
Oh no. That's a 5?
So you are like marching up to this guy, and immediately collapse. Just.
I turned it to Twitchly or to whoever's close and I say, I never thought I'd see
Yeah,
that happen.
and this one, well, ever since it's all been happening around here, she's just been drinking herself to death. I mean, really, it's been quite the disaster for everyone involved.
I didn't think it was possible for her to
Tell
drink
me
that
about
much.
the delegates. Delegates.
Yeah, those nasty delegates, right? Right?
Yeah, fuck the delegates.
Yes.
I pick her up and put her on a chair and
Yeah.
put my arm around her, and as people walk by, I'm like, she's fine. She's just closed her eyes.
She's just resting.
And-
She's resting. Okay.
So now, since it seems like people are kind of quelled, I'll walk up to the guy and I'll just be like, "All right, let me get you a drink. Tell me your troubles. What's been happening to you, man? I mean, it's been happening to all of us, but I want to hear your unique take on it."
So since you
And
rolled
I'll-
a pretty good roll.
I'll take on this like gruff, like a completely
Yeah.
like trying to like blend in kind of vibe, even though I'm not pulling it off at all.
Yeah. So you lean forward and say, "Hey, look, like, what's going on?" And he leans forward to you and he says, "If you've got half a lick of sense,
Don't. Yeah.
you know that there is full of shit as I've ever seen." And he says,
To the
"When
brim,
did all
really.
this trouble start?"
I mean, you right.
He kind of looks and says, "When did all this trouble start?"
I right after the delegates came through, if I'm not mistaken.
You're damn right.
Yeah. I mean,
What?
the
Delegates?
evidence is pretty damning.
Can Alara hear us while we're over here with this guy?
Yeah, so she can hear, but She's still kind of just like letting it play out right now.
And have you seen anything specific? I mean, besides, obviously, you know, the delegates, fuck them. But, like, since they've gone through, what's really been the problem in the town?
Listen, about a day after they came in, these disappearances start happening, and my apprentice, who they say, hey, blacksmiths, we don't normally practice magic, but he's got something special, and he says something's been going on out here, coming from our west.
To the west. I can't say that I've traveled much to the west. What's anything over there worthwhile?
You know, you asking a lot of questions, son, for someone who's been from here.
I mean, I'm very recently moved to the area. There was apparently a bunch of people that have moved out, and I saw an opportunity to snap up a new place.
They said no one's been buying them. Give me a persuasion or deception check.
Well, at least one of them has been purchased. It might still be an escrow.
It's an escrow.
Persuasion, it's not bad.
You know-
That's a 15.
We never
Yeah.
searched Marcus's body.
I thought we did. Oh no, it fell
Marcus
down. remember?
fell to the ground.
He fell like 1,000
Rip Marcus,
feet.
poor guy. Really loved that
I
guy.
just thought about him for a second.
Stand up, dude.
Really, he was the best of
Searched
us.
his bottom. I searched his bottom.
Searched
He
it
didn't
real
have
good.
anything on the
Yeah, 15 on my deception. Or persuasion, sorry.
Okay, so
He says, fair enough. Glad some people are moving in. Maybe we can keep this type of thing from happening. Those gosh damn outsiders.
Yeah, if there's one thing I hate, it's outsiders. can't stand them. You know, they should really build a taller wall around their city.
Yes, the wall between us.
And everyone else.
Foolproof.
Unscalable.
So he says, there's something we found. And it started coming up after those damn delegates came here.
Oh, what did you find? Oh, like super interested.
Yes. Something with the earth, beneath the pastures began to start changing. I didn't see it. My apprentice says it was happening just in the early morning hours. But something's been going on out there. And I'm damn sure it didn't happen before those delegates were here.
Well, we'll keep a vigilant eye out, and if you hear anything else, let us know. I mean, being new to the area, I like to keep an ear to the ground for anything that's happening.
Get it?
And I'll sort of get up and walk away, and just ask the group if anyone fancies a camp out tonight.
Yes.
I grew
It
up
would
in
be
the
on the
woods.
ground,
Before
outside.
we leave, I want to ask him where he
In
got
the
that scar.
Please, sir. I have ways around that sort of thing. I have a world of magic at my disposal and would never be caught dead sleeping on the ground.
I grew up in the woods.
Well, I for one am quite interested in what's going on. I don't know. We'll have to see Alara. What are your thoughts? Is it worth staying, or should we carry on to this monastery that everyone's talking about?
she looks and says, "I don't think it's worth looking at."
I think it's
definitely
very much
worth
worth
looking
looking at. I'm gonna,
Give me
yeah.
insight- Give me insight checks here. See if you.
That's all I'll do it.
Yeah, everybody give an insight check.
Pretty good.
Ooh, 18.
12. Come on, someone roll a 20.
Nope. That's
17.
So yeah, she kind of has a point. Like it's just gossip, you know.
I mean, who's to
What?
trust a drunk man at a bar anyway?
We have to take a long rest anyway.
I think drunk men in bars.
You are a drunk
Wise,
man.
wise,
I like
wise
that you did an
words.
insight check while you're passed out.
This guy, definitely legit.
There he does.
We
This guy
can
does what's
trust
up.
him.
This guy does what's up.
So, yeah,
I am a bit jet lagged from my teleportation, so I might go to bed early and wake up a bit earlier in the morning. We don't have to camp out, but
Yeah.
Alright, I like sleeping.
Okay,
matter
so
where we
then, so Alara seems a little shifty, but she, you guys kind of just sense that maybe, she probably seems okay. She says,
I don't like the look of that man. That's all.
He didn't much like the look of you either, from what I could tell.
And she just kind of gives like a stink eye. So then you get up.
So we take a long rest.
You take a longer. You guys have already done your.
Oh
long
yeah,
rest,
you're right.
right?
We
Yeah.
already did.
Okay, so we can just pretend like that.
So are we in the morning or night right now?
So now it's because we didn't actually like take a long, like we just kind of
Rest.
assumed it. Yeah, so then now you've taken your long rest, you've identified all your items, and then now it's the early morning. It's about like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. And you're waking up because of your jet lag. The rest of them are
Teleportation lag.
asleep. Oh, fuck. Never going back to New Zealand. And then you all are still asleep, so it's kind of on you for what you want to do.
I would like to go find where Alara's room is.
Okay.
Ouch! Wow! Wow!
Just a little 2 a.m. wake up call for Alara. Hey, what's up?
Hey,
Somebody
girl.
call.
Okay, so down the hallway, it's kind of like a rough, like very like, rough wood, very simple built, kind of just like the floor layer. Simple.
Yeah, continue. Sorry.
But yeah, one of like the old doors is just like number 3. You remember that that's where she was staying, knocking the door, and then she kind of like comes out, and she looks like she's like blinking sleep out of her eyes, but it doesn't look like she's that tired. And she looks like more alert than like she's like kind of like, oh, like how are you doing? But she kind of seems like has all her clothes on. She's like fully dressed.
For now.
For now.
Give me a minute.
Roll 20 for persuasion. No, but
I use fondle.
super effective. But yeah, she says, "What do you want so early?"
I just wanted to see if everything was okay and if you had any troubles with the clearly angry and deranged gentleman we met last night.
She just kind of smiles and she says, "There won't be any more problems with him."
He's dead.
Can I come in?
Oh.
Give me a persuasion check. Jeez.
If you're getting busy, would it be
Laura's
acrobatics or
a little
animal
hot.
handling?
She got
Okay.
Really depends on how you're getting after it.
Go ahead.
That is hard to read. 19.
I mean,
Okay.
there's also a grapple
I'm gonna
check.
switch to this one. That thing's impossible to read.
No, I know, that's totally right. I think that's more.
No. This one's
Here's
fun.
one.
now grappled.
Here's one.
Oh man, there we go.
That's a good
But
one.
but yeah, so she says she's reluctant.
Sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand.
Give me an endurance check.
Nature.
one.
Nature. I don't know. I think nature wins.
There's just no end to the
There's
possibilities.
no. Anyway,
Let's do it on Discovery Channel. That's the nature check one. That's
Yeah.
It's actually a religion check where I come from.
It's a religion check. So yeah, she's reluctant, but she says, "Come in, I suppose." So you go in. Her bed is perfectly neat. It almost looks like your bed had before when you had reached your room. And then give me a perception check.
okay. 18.
Okay, so you notice that her bag is fully packed. It looks like it's ready to rock and roll. But you notice like on one of the tables there's like a series of like what looks like almost like utensils. Like you can't tell because you haven't really seen these things before. But they seem to be like and you think maybe she brought up food or something. But there seems to be like a number of kind of like almost very very sharp kind of cutlery, and some of it seems to have some like red stains on it.
I asked Laura if she was dining in her room tonight, if that's what the utensils are for.
She just says, yes, I was dining in my room.
You should just take your clothes off.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Just as you're casually having conversation, just slowly start removing and don't say anything about it. Just see how long it
Well,
takes.
sure.
It's warm in here.
I'm a bit
Yeah,
hot.
she says, yes, we should get on the road soon. I've been, she says, I think you're right that, we should be up early, we should be moving quickly. We should get on the road soon. And she kind of is like, like kind of like shepherding you towards the door.
I ask her if I can examine the tools that she has on her desk.
It's just tools of the trade. Probably, not necessary to. It's just, just the dinner utensils they brought me here, like you said.
I come from very far away, but I'm certain that those aren't dinner utensils. I'd like to examine them a little closer if you don't mind. I certainly won't touch them.
So give me persuasion or intimidation.
Let's go persuasion with that -1 intimidation. Ooh, doesn't matter.
Oh, I got it that one. So.
Oh.
So you probably got it if you got over a 1.
Yeah, I did. I don't 3, and then I don't know. I can't find my thing.
It's on under. Yeah.
Yeah, 5.
2.
Okay. So then she says, if you must, I suppose if you want to see, some of the cutlery that we use in these pots, maybe for your own research. So she kind of steps back and raises her hand, and most of them look just like, whatever they are, and they don't look like a normal utensil that you're used to. They kind of seem to have longer edges, and then like the forks seem to have like very, very long, whatever, forky bits, and then pokey bits.
Tines.
Yes, the forky bits.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tines.
You're an author, Jeffrey. You know these things.
Oh, no, tines.
Pokey bits.
Can I identify what the red stuff is on them?
Yeah, so you, that one actually might be a nature check.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Maybe
or
you can
medicine. Nature or medicine.
Wait, I choose?
What about
Yeah,
natural
you-
medicine?
Yeah, combined.
Empathic.
Homeopathic.
I have 18.
Nice.
Okay, so you can tell that it is blood
And spice.
and spice.
That's a real
Ziggy's
fucked
dead.
up thing.
Oh, it's okay.
So yeah, it looks like blood, and it's relatively fresh, and you can tell from your understanding of medicine that it is not animal blood; it's human blood.
Okay.
But it could be something that she was doing to herself. It could be something that she was doing, or that blood could be coming from her. It could be coming from somewhere else. Don't know.
Well, I bid Alara good night
Mm-hmm.
and step outside the room.
Okay, yeah, so you're back in the hallway. It's still about like 3:30 in the morning. Everybody else is still asleep.
Before going back, I would like to cast my unseen servant.
Okay. Hello, sir.
Wow. Let's make him an unheard servant as well. Let's not.
Good servant.
Um,
It's really loud.
yeah.
Laura's like, who's there?
Servants should be not seen and
All
not
right.
heard.
like Baxter. I had a scene.
Actually, here's a question. Can I communicate at all telepathically with my unseen servant?
I think so. It's just your mind commands them, I think. Right?
Don't
Okay.
remember.
So can I consider his vision my vision, basically?
I think that play. No, I don't know about.
I don't
You can't
think-
use them for scouting.
I don't think unseen servants can. I think you
Scout.
can with like familiars if you have find familiar and things like that.
Interesting.
That's
Okay.
right. That's right.
All right. Well, I would like to tell him to stand and block the door.
Yeah. So he stands and holds the door. He doesn't have much strength. I think he only gets like a 10 strength of 10.
Okay.
I remember.
Strength of 2.
Strength of 2. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's gonna have to roll like a boss, but that can happen.
All right.
Okay.
But I'll know when he needs to roll, right?
yeah.
Like, you'll know if she tries to leave, basically.
Does that count as scouting? Is that basically if I want him to see?
Well,
Well,
let us slide for this, yeah.
what it would be is if like she tried to open it, and he tried to, and your servant tried to stop. Your servant could then come tell you.
Yeah.
Right. So I tell my servant.
Yeah. Come
To-
tell me if someone.
Oh, I tell my servant to stand in front of the door and come tell me or come back up to me if somebody tries to leave it.
Yeah, that place. Yeah. And then he says, nothing. He just nods.
But you don't see it because it's unseen.
I sense a nod.
Yeah. Okay, he's cool with it.
And for the remainder of the morning, I step just outside the inn
Okay.
to the front door and survey my surroundings.
Okay, so as you walk out to the front of the inn, you look around town, you see some pretty just basic stuff. You see kind of a general store, looks like it would carry a few weapons, just a few doors down. You see a potion store where they seem to have just like an alchemist. And then I think you find an old, looks like an antique store, where it just seems to have just random stuff like bric-a-brac. Toward the edge of town, you start to see that's when things start turning into pasture land. And then give me a perception check here.
Ooh, that ain't good. 11.
Okay, 11.
Yeah, I have a +6 perception.
Okay, nice. Okay, so just at the edge of your vision, like where you see kind of the pasture land turning into rolling hills that start to go up larger into mountains, and then a forest on their left. You see like some of the hills, and it doesn't look like a mirage, but some of the hilltops just kind of seem to be like shimmering, just sort of like boiling water almost. But then it only happens for a few seconds, and it just could be your imagination.
It's probably nothing.
And
should
then
definitely investigate by
at
yourself.
this point, I think the rest of your party has awakened, and they
I was gonna
come out to find you guys. And so now you're all out front. None of you all have seen this phenomenon. Only you guys have seen it. Only you have seen it.
Is Alara out with us as well?
On the hypochondrias. Alara, she's still in her room.
Okay.
Where's Laura?
Haven't seen her yet this morning.
Coffee.
She didn't sleep much last night. If you.
When he disappeared.
So then a moment later, you feel your unseen servant tap on your shoulder, and you just know that the door has been opened.
Okay. I think she's just woken up. I'm gonna go check to see that she's coming out to join us.
Tell her hi.
Yeah, just little conversation the next morning. So I go back inside to check that she's coming down to join us.
So she's walking down the stairs. She walks through the bar. She is noticing that you've been watching her more closely, so she kind of stiffens when she sees you and is like, "Good morning," and just like walks the rest of the way out the door.
Okay.
So now you all the whole party is out in front of the inn. You have, and then you kind of have there's this road kind of going out left. There's a few kind of stores here, and then there's those kind of tree, like a big forest, and then some bigger mountains and hills that kind of out in that direction. And then in town, there's like a few things as well.
Are there any animals around, in like birds or something? I think I have like a speak with animals spell that I would like.
Yeah, so there's some like there's some cattle, people bringing oxen through town. Some people getting like a herd of sheep around. So yeah, you definitely have mostly farm animals, a few birds, but mostly farm animals around.
Hey, you sheep.
What? I know. I gotta.
That's a good one. That's
half the reason I took this spell.
that one right there is a keeper for sure.
That's the only
You
reason
see
I
anything
did
weird
it.
going?
The only reason.
You seen anything weird going on with the earth around here, hereabouts?
Because yeah.
Can you elaborate?
I mean, sheep are very smart, but it gives you like a basic. You can only really get impressions, and it gives you kind of this basic feeling of like losing your footing and being very afraid. So you kind of just like gives you this like this like stumbling sensation, and it's like in a green pasture, and it seems like the grass is changing, and you kind of just like feel this like kind of tripping sensation, and then it's like that. And that's pretty much it.
Well,
Thanks a
while
lot,
she's talking
sheep.
to the sheep, I see her talking to the sheep, and I don't know that she's cast a spell, so I walk up to this sheep, and I just assume that it's a talking sheep, and so I say hello to it.
So it just like looks at you.
Hello, sheep.
That's pretty much it.
He's quite a wordsmith.
Yeah, quite a wordsmith indeed.
I'm witnessing this entire scene, And to my amulet, I will say, I'm traveling with idiots.
Yes, sir. Would you like
Oh,
me
Bartholomew, you're awake.
I've always been awake.
So, Barty, let me ask you this. There's a guy here, I'm pretty convinced that this town's under some influence of something after the delegates rolled through. Say the ground's making weird something or other, I don't know. Cattle gone, sheep gone, that mean anything to you?
It could, sir. I mean, if it's not random bandits, sir, it might entail perhaps something a little different. But I would unfortunately have to perhaps speak with him myself, sir, if you understand.
Speak with him. Interesting. I see. Well, I mean, if you have his mailing address or anything of that nature, I can get in contact with him.
Oh, did he mention any areas of this disturbance?
Not particularly.
Unfortunate, sir. Unfortunate.
So, I don't know this conversation is happening.
This is all happening in my head.
But I've decided that of all the things to regale everyone about last night, I don't mention anything about Alara, but I do use message to tell them all about the shimmering in the hills.
Okay, so they all get this
I
message.
do ask them not to bring it up in front of Alara.
Oh, you can like
I have message, which
secretly tell us?
Yeah, message.
yeah, point my finger toward a creature and whisper a message. The target and only you. Yeah, you're like Alara looks at me as I'm like,
the sheep too.
yeah, and the sheep,
Yeah.
and on the sheep, yeah. I do tell them about the shimmering of that, but
Okay.
tell them not to discuss it in front of Alara,
Okay.
but don't explain why.
So yeah, so now you all know kind of what he observed in terms of like seeing that strange phenomenon on the hill, and
This, to my this is a friend of yours. Is he a fan of the tops of hills, high places, perhaps? Good vantage points, maybe?
the friend of Alara's. Or?
No, he said I might have to talk with him.
He was talking about the person you mentioned, but yeah,
In the bar.
in the
The
bar.
guy with
I
the
see.
scar or whatever.
But yeah, okay. So the person in terms of my friend, he's like, well, he's much similar to me, in fact, sir. But he does, in fact, very deeply adore the things, how do you say, of stone.
Hard things. I do like hard things. Yes.
He doesn't. So.
So does Alara. Hey.
I always hated her, so.
Yeah. I mean, she is.
Did I ever mention
I mean,
one
we
of
have
my
a
favorite
we have
masks?
a word for that where I come from. It's Stone Cold Bitch, I believe is what we're going for. Yes.
I always wondered
Your
why she
puns are
was-
really on track tonight, my friend.
I often wondered why she was burying me as opposed to my brother.
Your brother. And so if obviously we wouldn't want to keep you separated for so long from your brethren, as you call them. Can you tell me if any of them are close?
There's one actually, I would need a little bit of fuel, but not nearly so much, sir.
So, and I was looking around and be like, well, there's that stupid sheep over there. By all means, be my guest.
He looks, you feel that he's like pondering and says, it's normally not something I prefer, sir, but...
It's what I've got right now.
So, as Featherwidget is talking to the sheep, suddenly its
You wouldn't
eyes
believe what
start bleeding.
What?
And its
No!
eyes start bleeding.
Not like this!
Boom.
Not like this!
Keels over in a pool of confused blood, and like all of its toes are bleeding, and like the shepherd is like freaking out. He's like, "Oh my god, 5th one this week!"
I
Let's
asked
back
him
away
if he
slowly.
means that
I'm
has
in
happened.
tears.
for
Wasn't
the
me.
first time
Sobbing.
this
That
week.
was my
He
friend.
says, "Yes, sir.
That was my friend.
One of my flocks out in the west pastures. 3 of them turn up like this. I think it's a damn disease."
And I'll walk over and be like, I'm very sorry for your troubles. I'm new to the neighborhood, and I mean, I don't have much, but I'd like to help. And then I'll hand him 5 gold for his sheep.
Okay, so you give him 5 gold. He says, "Why, thank you, sir. Nice to know my newest neighbors are kind, giving people. Just far too bad.
They would never do
These-
something like this.
These
Never.
Damn delegates must have brought a bloody plague with them.
I've heard nothing but bad about them since I got here.
I tell you, sir.
I mean, I'm partially glad that I missed their travel through in the first place.
Yes, indeed, sir. Lucky you are.
And with that, I'll be like, all right, you got your fuel. Now tell me what you know. Because I asked him if he knew where any of
Where
his
his
brethren
Yes,
were.
sir. I believe there's a complex of buildings just at the corner of these hills, and I believe those mountains where the tree line begins. I understand, and he kind of, you can sense that he's hesitating. He says, it seems that someone is shielding my gaze, but there seems to be a complex there that's much larger than what's visible on the surface, one which I cannot fully see, sir.
Well, I do
But with
appreciate
more
that.
fuel provided, of course, I could look hard at my master.
I'll keep an eye out.
May I suggest my old master? She was quite
Now,
disturbing.
now, as you can probably tell, I am not the biggest fan of Alara, but there's others in our group who've seemingly become quite taken with her, so I couldn't bear to do that to a new friend.
You don't know my life.
It's all circumstantial evidence for me.
I do understand the weakness of friendly relations.
As I imagine you would. And so I'll try to basically. Where's Riley right now?
Riley is, I think, at the door.
Riley,
where
what's your
everyone else is.
Hypochondrious.
Yeah, hypochondrious.
Not actually named Riley.
I know, I was like, who's Riley?
Hypochondrious.
Hypochondrious.
Is surrounded by people or kind of by himself? Because they were talking to the sheep.
Yeah, you both have been talking to the sheep, so he's pretty much by himself right now.
Okay, so I want to go over and be like, hey, and try to make sure Alara's not around.
And
so
Alara has actually gone over and investigating the sheep, and she seems like freaked out.
It's like, now where did you say that this happened again? Somewhere on the ridge? I mean, it might be worth at least taking a look.
Yeah, it was up the road, further up near the ridge where the pasture is.
I mean, it sounds like Alara really wants to get out of here. I think it's a little suspicious myself.
I don't think we should fully trust her.
I mean, I don't think we can either. I think we should try to at least convince the other two to follow us up the ridge and take a look, because Alara seems set on getting out of here.
I can message them without arousing suspicion
Very
from
useful
Alara.
to have you around.
Yes.
So are you all trying to leave Laura behind?
Not trying to leave
Okay.
Alara behind, just trying to get them on the same page with us
Okay.
before we venture
Okay.
off.
I think we should bring Alara with us.
I do too. Yeah.
So I messaged the two of them and informed them of.
I'm still crying over the sheep.
So
but
sorry about
I-
the sheep,
pull myself
dude.
together.
I offer my condolences.
Yeah,
I-
this
I-
is
I
more for
pull
5
myself
gold
together.
pieces. I'll get 5 more. Thank you.
But not that
Maybe
one.
just dry your eyes with the wool.
Yeah.
That one. He was a talker.
It's tired. So wise. The
One
things we
of the
share.
wisest sheep I have known.
I've ever known.
But alright, let's move on.
Okay. So you all.
So where are we going?
Yeah. So it's up to you guys. So you all are on the same page, and I can just pretend that you guys just kind of go aside while Alara's still worried about the sheep, and you all can kind of just figure out what you all want to do.
I think the ridge warrants a look. I mean, something obviously is going on here. It's much different than we were here last time. I don't know if anything's up there. If nothing, then we get on our merry way. But until then, it seems like it could be a decent place to at least check out.
Maybe one of these delegates is hiding up there.
I mean, if hidden in plain sight sort of thing, hide in the town, maybe.
I'm
When-
sure you
when
don't have any
we-
ulterior motives.
You know as much as I do.
Yeah.
It's worth checking out. If the delegates passed through and then weird things started happening here, and I saw the hills themselves moving in the morning, it seems worth a look.
All right. So
I think we should insist Alara join us, because I'm not convinced she doesn't have something to do with it.
Is it safe to say that the hills are alive?
Yes.
Perhaps with the
Sound.
sound
Is
pieces.
there music anymore? What's that sound?
Could it be?
So the only thing that remains, though, is which of us is going to go inform Alara of our plan.
What does she like?
I'd be happy to. We have a history.
I mean, you seem to have quite the rapport going.
Yes, I can inform her of our plans
Great.
and be as persuasive as possible.
Alright.
Yeah. Okay, so you notify Alara of your plan.
Also, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Did we, when we were on the Griffin to the tower, and Marcus died?
Mhm.
Yeah, poor Marcus.
Poor
Rest in
oh,
peace.
please rest in peace.
I've lost so many.
Did we see anything about what happened to him?
I think Alara did because she was worried about the amulet being used.
My question is, do
Do you all
us
know?
three have an understanding of what this amulet
I
can
don't
do to
think
people?
because you were all on the same. I don't think you all have a sense of what the amulet can do. You were all on the same. All the same griffin riding like piggyback, pretty much. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like pretty hard to tell. I
okay.
think,
What?
in that situation.
What amulet? I don't know.
Well,
She accused
Alara
us
had
of
mentioned
having an
that
Oh, did she mention it was an amulet?
she did mention an amulet because she
Huh.
saw that the way that Marcus died, she
Yeah.
questioned all of us when
Yeah.
before we
It's
reached
true.
the tower.
I really.
She said that the way that Marcus died was a sign of use of the
Do you
amulet.
think Marcus maybe had the amulet? Should we find his body, perhaps?
Well, it's too late. I brought this up before.
I may have been a little preoccupied.
Um,
You grab those
So-
coconut chips too.
Oh yeah.
so I
Just totally forgot to.
now knowing that we have a rough idea of kind of what happened to Marcus because Alara confronted us about it.
Yeah.
I approach Alara and say, Alara, it looks as if the sheep has had a similar fate to Marcus.
Rest in peace.
Rest,
Well.
rest in peace, Marcus.
She
No,
shakes
she-
her head and she says, "Yes, but I'm not sure if it's mine."
Actually, can I have a scrim shot?
Yeah. Drink as much beer as you want. Also, anybody else wants beer or whiskey?
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
You grab me a beer also?
Oh, sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Have
Oh yeah.
I would take whiskey.
Whiskey? Do you want pouring a whiskey or bringing a whiskey out, Fox?
I tell
And
her
she says yes,
I tell her
it's-
that we have a suspicion that the amulet might be coming from the hills where there was movement, and that is what killed the sheep.
She says, "You probably are not wrong. I had hoped that that man had been lying. That he hadn't caused the damage I thought we'd caused, but it seems that
Which whiskey do you
for
want?
all our efforts."
If there's bullet, I'll take bullet.
Curls massive bottle of bullet.
I nod, knowing full
Yeah.
well internally that she
Yeah.
definitely killed this dude because she was super suspicious last night. But I don't say anything and just go with it. And say, okay, great.
Yes,
So
please.
you'll join us on our journey to the
2
hills
cubes.
to find this amulet for you.
She says, "Of course, I must find the amulet before it's too late." And then
Seems like there's only one path forward.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, you guys head up to the hills, and then the landscape changes. It kind of goes from, and you all want to get anything from the city while you're still there. There's a general store.
I wouldn't mind stopping at
Potion
the
store.
apothecary
Okay,
before
so
we
Yeah,
do
do
it.
look for some potions.
You go to the apothecary store, and some guy with like a very curled mustache, and a lot of just kind of potions on the walls. Lots of different types.
So, I will ask him for healing potions,
Yeah.
and then I will also, slide on my way up to the counter and be like, I am somewhat of a fan of
Thank you so
interesting and
You're welcome.
intriguing brews, if you will. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, I would like just, what's the most entertaining potion you have on your shelves? Something that the average person might never have seen before. I like wonders. What can I say?
He says, sir. Well, I have your healing potions here. And here he shows you see potions of healing and greater healing. There's about 5 potions of healing. There's 2 potions of greater healing. The potions of healing are about 10 gold apiece. Greater healing 100. But then he says, yes, sir. If you're looking for something a bit creative, I have this baby back here. It's this tiny little jar. And he says, I've never really drank it myself, so I'm not sure what it does. But my master...
I'm intrigued.
My master says you go into somewhat of a euphoric experience, sir. And one of a many a thing can befall you, depending on how you roll, sir.
Just do it.
I roll quite well.
Indeed. Not quite sure what he meant by that last bit.
Yeah, I like to roll with whatever happens.
Yeah, right. Roll with the punches. So of course, that one's going to be 200 gold, but I guarantee it's worth every penny.
I've never taken 200 gold out of my bag faster.
Boom. 200 gold.
And I will also take 2 of the healing potions. So for
Yeah. So
220.
210 or 220. Yeah.
Are there any
220.
Are there any places in this shop where I can be browsing without him seeing me?
It's super smart. It's like a tiny home. It's just like literally like counter, potions on the walls, and like a
Now,
little
is there
like
anything
space.
for alchemy? I have an alchemist kit. I don't know if there's anything.
Oh yeah. So if you need some like material, so he said, "Oh yeah,
I've never used it. I got it on online. So use that.
Sneak
Never
out a
used
little
it.
brought up Amazon. Really thought of it.
But you know, we
Or
might
should I
actually
move my
need me to
stuff?
make
Yeah,
a healing
sorry.
potion at some point. So,
Yeah.
so if I can find anything for my, because I have the kit, so I have proficiency.
I'm not really sure how you make a healing potion, honestly.
I don't know either. I just figured like had to be an option.
But let's see. So then he pulls out he pulls out a shelf of what looks like a lot of little components. Let me see if I can just find it real quick.
Also, does the other potion I bought have a name?
Oh yeah, it's the it's called the Draft of Epic Supremacy.
Whoa!
You just make that up.
No, that's
That's
a totally
a-
that's
I
a
know,
totally
I was like,
legit
I'm
D&D
not really
item
Sure, I know.
of epic supremacy. Wow.
Yeah. No, it's a D&D out of it.
No, no.
It's right here.
It's legit.
It's in the 5e one.
Yeah, you just had it memorized and impressive.
Listen to Perseverance. I'm poor now, but it's great.
That must be terrible.
Oh, but what can I say? I have the draft of the epic supremacy. I'm sorry.
Depends on how you roll, my friend.
Okay. So as he pulls out the I'm just looking here. But yeah, okay. So as he pulls out this little shelf, it has like a number of different components, which is like old, well, it looks like kind of like wood shavings, like old moths, like weird stuff. And he kind of pulls out the this cabinet and he says, "Here are our components, ma'am. If you want to craft a potion of healing, it will probably cost you about 2 gold to get the pieces you need, and it will be a bit of time. You have to let it simmer. So for each potion, you're gonna have to do probably a little bit of, almost an hour to 30 minutes, which in your world is a short rest. So it's about an hour and 30 minutes. So you need these, black moths, and he kind of points out a few different components you can buy that will cost $2.
I'll take enough for. I'll take about 10 gold worth.
Okay, so you have 5. Healing potion.
Just in case I need to resuscitate everyone.
Well, but you'll need a short rest for each of them to make.
I can't make like 2 at the same time.
I think it's like it's just like a crafting.
Okay, then I'll take 2.
Okay, so then it's 4 gold, and then he still has. So you got 2 potions of
I
healing.
bought
So
2
there's
potions
still
of
3 up.
There's 3 potions of healing and 2 greater
2
healing.
greater. Yeah.
Also, I can't find potion of healing in here.
So pretty much it is.
Found potion of healing, but greater only.
Yeah. So there's the healing is 2d4 plus 2 healing regained.
Oh yeah, this one's 44. I can't find the email. Anyway,
So that's greater healing is 44.
yeah, I can't on
It's
here.
like not listed.
Oh,
there.
is it
Yeah, I just wrote them in my other possessions section.
Yeah.
In any case, I hate to be that guy. I teleported here, not knowing where I would end up, and it turns out I teleported without my wallet.
Yeah.
A likely story.
Now, if one of you could merely lend me 17 gold.
Well,
A
did you
Nigerian
split up
elf
that 300
prince.
gold from the guy?
Yeah, you should have gotten like
Yeah.
83 gold from that
No, I got 300 divided by the 5 of us.
by
was-
4 of us, right?
He was,
Because
he was still.
She
There was-
stole 100 and gave the rest away.
Oh, and you ended up not taking any.
Yeah, so she had 100, and then we split the other
I
one
was
by 4.
being very generous.
That is so kind of you, thank
I
you.
just, you know, I have
Um,
the
It's a
little
hard
folk.
gold, that one.
Yes.
I would like to
Literally,
purchase one
it's
greater
gold.
healing potion.
Okay, yeah.
with
so
the gold I definitely now have.
So he pulls out the shelf. Here you are, Sam.
Thank you.
And then
I already bought my stuff.
any other questions for an apothecary? That
Um,
give me a perception check.
you go
Does
up there.
it-
You go up there and try to buy a beer,
Dude, these,
I'll take that smoking jug thing again.
which is the most alcoholic of you.
Are these sorted by ABV or y'all got any bullet?
This one is pure ethanol.
Potion of Everclear, please.
Yes.
Oh, not one.
Okay.
I've
yeah.
been rolling so
this
bad
looks like
today.
a normal potion store. Nothing
Well,
fancy.
I
Do I see anything?
Yeah, perception check.
would like to use my wand of secrets.
Okay. Well, it'll be only doors and
Doors, secret doors or
or
traps.
trap.
Not
got
secret
15.
alcohol.
Oh, I'm wondering if he has like a secret back room or something.
Where he keeps the good stuff.
Yeah.
I got a 15.
All right. So can I?
You got a 15. Okay, so you see that one of the bottles resembles very closely that drink that was getting poured out last night, but it looks a lot more concentrated. It kind of seems to have this kind of like heated, like it's like the kind of like the top of the jar is kind of like perforated, so that some like smoke is like coming out of the top.
Look, there's your drink. What is
My good sir.
good
Yes,
sir?
ma'am.
What is that potion up there? I believe they were selling that at the bar.
Ah, that's the watered down stuff, man.
Oh,
That's our best.
what? Tell me more.
Fine distilled firewater, man.
Firewater. Tell me more.
Well, you see, we take something of a fire potion and add a few of our own modifications. My particular brand, one of my, and he kind of like looks around and says, "Do you want spice?"
Always, my good sir. Always.
Well, if you know that the sheriff here is a bit, you know, he sent some people like you before to come buy some things, ask some questions. I'm a little bit, you know, I think we should just stick with the over-the-table brand for tonight. But perhaps in
take
time. But you know, man, I just don't necessarily feel comfortable selling it to a customer that I'm not deeply familiar with.
We can become deeply familiar.
Whoa, we're standing right here. Get a room.
Persuasion check.
Come on, baby. 15.
Okay, so he says.
Let's get deeply familiar.
Do some spice now to prove.
So he says
Yeah.
oh man, I would.
If you're a cop, you have to tell me,
I
right?
turn to Twitchley and I go, show him the spice.
I don't know what this one's talking about. I've never seen her before.
So he
I
says,
show him Zuga, who is like literally tripping out so hard on spice that he's.
Yeah,
It's like he's not even there.
Sorry, that
well,
was a
that's
little
that's
slow.
a good point. That boy is quite we call spiced out. You know, it'll be $2.50. But
2 gold and 50 silver, right? I'll take that as a no.
contraband's a little bit more expensive than even our finest standard potions, man.
Is there any way I could persuade you lower?
You'll have to check that persuasion.
As she slides her off her
I
shoulder.
slide, I pull this down
Any
to show
other
my
ways I could
hairy
play?
breast tops.
Alright, give me persuasion. at
Perky
disadvantage.
nips.
Yeah, my
Perky
perky
nips.
You're at disadvantage, by the way. Those very perky nips.
Yeah.
15.
So
He's into it.
he like twirls his mustache and he's like,
For you, ma'am, Maybe we could do 100 if you promise to come visit me next time.
Only if I can give your tushy a snack.
Of course,
I'll take it.
So then 100 gold, you get a potion of spice-laced firewater.
Woo!
And it's pretty small, but it definitely could do, it's probably 2 or 3 doses worth.
Okay.
You can just write 3 charges on that.
So I'm watching this go down,
Yeah.
and I'll walk over to Hypochondrius and I'll give you 5 to 1 that this one over here steals it.
I'm already eyeing it. Like,
I mean, I'm definitely
You're
planning
on.
on sharing it with her.
All right.
my hand is twitching a little bit.
What? Alright, so yeah, so you guys are all pushing up. There's a general store next door. There's, I think, a weapons store. But nothing really, like, And then the hill's out to the west, or you can continue to look for other leads and other.
I'd like to go look at the weapons store real quick.
Cool.
Yeah.
You go
Do they have
into. Huh?
Do they have armor? At the weapons store?
It's mostly just weapons here.
I guess I can't really wear armor.
Are there, out of curiosity about the game, are there like items that enhance your spells as a wizard? So like weapons make people who actually attack with them better, but like my quarterstaff, for instance, only does melee damage, so I would never use it.
There are, most of what you'll have would be things will add, either give you more of your spell casting stat, like for you I think it's intelligence, so you get things that would boost intelligence, and then there are some that are just add, like, you won't necessarily get like straight attack, like plus to your attack. What you'd get is like you'll get additional effects, like do an additional 1d6 thunder damage or things like that.
Okay. How does intelligence play into the different spells that I have? So let's say like firebolt, like
so your intelligence, so your spells generally have either an attack to hit or they have a DC for the opponent to save. And if you have a higher intelligence, both the DCs for them that they have to meet in order to protect themselves against your spell is higher, and your attack rolls to actually hit are plus more, because they're plus your intelligence modifier.
Okay.
So this...
I guess I'm trying to find where, because I've not understood how intelligence plays into any of the stuff I've done.
So
Because it's always just like 2d10, and then nowhere in there does it say
so what that is, if you look at your spells, like see how mine have like +3 or whatever. And so that's +3 to hit based on charisma for me, which is my spellcasting stat. And then
none of yours have it though.
So like none of mine here.
So it's possible that you don't have any spells that you've taken that require you to hit.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Oh, yeah, see.
Hit. Con 14, Dex 14.
So those are saving throws. So basically, if you have a higher, they have to make a Dex saving throw against your DC, which is set for you by your intelligence.
And then to hit +6 means you add
So
6.
to hit +6 means when you attack with that spell, you get +6 on the roll to attack. So you roll a 20 +6, and then the result of that, you have to hit their armor class to be able to actually hit them with your attack. So when you have a higher intelligence, that'll be +7, +8. So the likelihood that you're going to hit their armor class is higher.
So that 6 is not derived from my intelligence. That
6 is derived from your intelligence.
Oh,
Your intelligence is like...
So it's basically
your
that
+6
is your intelligence plus your proficiency bonus.
Got it. So my intelligence is at... Oh, mod +3 or save +6?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so it'd be the +3 that you get plus your proficiency bonus, which is +3 at this point, I would imagine.
Okay.
And then the saves are for when you are making a save. So you might say, hey, someone's trying to mind control you, and it'd be an intelligence save, and you have +6 in it.
Got it. Okay.
All right.
Cool. Thank you.
I want to see if I can find a better bow.
Okay. So you look through the weapons. There have a series of clubs and daggers. Pretty basic, like almost like farm. Like you see pitchforks, a lot of farmhand stuff. In terms of the bows. You see a short bow.
A short bro, huh?
Huh?
A short bro.
A short bow.
Short bro.
No, he left a bit earlier.
So short, huh?
Yeah.
Too
Oh,
short.
yeah, Francis was our short
You
bro.
see a short bow. You see a crossbow. Yeah, and he just has a short bow and a crossbow.
Can I tell if they're better than my longbow?
Short bow will do 1d6 piercing. Crossbow will do 1d8 piercing.
Oh, no. I'm good.
And then, yeah, range 80. No luck.
No, mine's better.
I'm gonna go to the general store
Okay.
and
Follow.
I'm going to just see. I'm actually going to get like a couple of torches.
Yep. So the torches are pretty cheap.
Don't we all have torches as part of our, like,
You do,
pack?
but they start to run out.
Oh.
So what I have is I have a bag that has 1,000 ball bearings, 10 feet of string, a bell, 5 candles, a crowbar, a hammer, 10. What's a piton? P-I-T-O-N-S. Is that the thing that you use for like climbing?
I think so.
No idea.
Yeah, P-I-T-O-N-S.
Let's see.
A hooded lantern, 2 flasks of oil, 5 days of rations, a tinderbox, a
Yeah,
water
rock
skin,
climber, yeah.
and 50 feet of hempen rope. But I have no
You have a
torches.
climbing kit.
Let's do some
It's my
burglars
burglar. It's my burglar's
So
pack.
that's like
So
climbing.
you
Yeah.
I don't
climb
have
over
an explorer's
walls and
pack.
stuff.
I have a
Got it.
burglar's pack. I
Okay.
have
Yeah,
mercy
so torches
skills.
are a copper a pop, so they're pretty cheap.
Okay, I'll take.
A couple of torches.
I'll take 5.
Yeah, okay, 5 torches, boom. And then, what else do we need here?
Is there a grappling hook? Because I would like a grappling hook.
That is more expensive. That'll be 10 gold pieces, but there is one in the very, very back of the store.
I will take a 10 gold grappling hook, please.
Alright, you got a grappling hook.
Can you
Lucky
smell
devil
it?
you.
I'm gonna use it on whoever I feel like.
Barrel roll. Alright, so you all are outfitted. You start heading
Okay.
towards the edge of town. Unless anybody else wants any general stuff, but I think you probably are good.
Nah.
Can't think of anything.
So you all head towards the edge of town. As you walk, Alara, whatever, follows behind you. As you walk to the edge of town, towards those like kind of sloping hills that lead to that forest, you start to feel this sense of heaviness and this kind of exhaustion. And I mean, you just started your day, like you shouldn't feel this tired. And you reach the hills where you saw the initial disturbance. Everybody give me a Constitution saving throw.
Yikes.
So good at Constitution.
Oh, also, does resting restore hit points?
Yes.
Yeah, you have full life on all
If
of
you
those.
hit the long rest button, it'll do it all for you.
15.
Where's that?
Okay.
It's under limited use, and or give you all your spell slots back and give you your health back.
Thank you.
Ooh, not bad.
I have a 9.
17.
You said a
Okay.
constitution.
Mm-hmm. Con save.
So you add the
Add the
save.
save.
Yeah, you add this.
2.
Okay.
You rolled. Did you roll?
You're
a
in
two?
that one.
I rolled a nat 1 and I got a +1.
Well, and
So
the
that one is nat
the thing with nat ones is they're regardless of what it is, it's an automatic failure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not
Oh.
good, guys.
Not
So you two are feeling really queasy, and as you get to the base of the foothills, you start immediately just like you feel like your ears are ringing, and you touch your ears, and they come away, and your ears are bloody, and then you notice that like your ears are bloody, and right the corners of your eyes are just bleeding just a little bit.
I knew that one drank too much last night.
Would you like
I
some?
didn't drink that much. I must need more.
So roll me.
Drunk, not ear bleeding drunk.
So you each take. So you'll take 1d4. So you take 4 points of psychic damage, and then
Uh-oh.
you take 7 points of psychic.
Oh, that's fun.
Holy shit. And for a wizard too, that's not a good start.
Yeah, that one will turn a d4 into a
Good thing he has that greater healing potion.
Okay, so as y'all get out into the hills,
Do we want to back up, or I'll let you keep
I feel
explaining? But
Yeah, I'm feeling great. I mean, I know you may not have gotten a lot of sleep last night, but I feel fantastic.
yeah. Continue.
Okay, alright, we're still going, that's all good. So, you all feel a little queasy to get in the hills. Once you get in, you find yourself kind of growing more accustomed to it, so you don't feel that same pressure, but there is kind of this, like, nagging sense in the back of your mind, like something is, like, it feels like, it's, like, almost like this, like, kind of, like, poking. Like, it's sort of, like, as if something is trying to, like chipping away.
Hey, Barty, is this your friend that you were telling me about?
You don't feel anything, actually.
What's that? Oh, I don't feel anything at all.
And then all you hear is a voice that says, I've taken care of it, Seth.
But he does see that we're bleeding out of our
Yeah, he notices
I
you
look
guys.
at Alara and I'm like, Alara,
But-
what the fuck?
but,
What's
like,
happening to
everybody
us?
else is kind of, like, leaning forward, and Alara's like, I think one of the delegates is broken.
Can I do a perception check now that we're up here to see if I see anything odd on the ground, any caves, anything?
Yeah, so now that you're at the top of the hill, you can kind of see the valley laid out. Out in front of you are those trees that lead up to the mountains. You can just in the distance see these, like, kind of like little brick buildings right at the base of the mountains. Like, it's very, very, it's like, you know, like miles away. But yeah, like, just here on the ground as you look around, you rolled perception. What was
I
your
haven't
number?
rolled it yet.
Yeah.
I even have my ring of perception +1. Ooh, so that's 13, 20, 21.
Yeah, so you notice that the ground, while it looks like there's grass growing, it almost looks like it's been freshly tilled. But, like, it's just been, like, overturned enough times that, like, the grass that was, like, down is on top. So it's, like, just, like, all the rock, it's just been, like, kind of, like, blendered pretty much. Where it doesn't, it's, like, it's not, it looks like green from a distance, but it's just because it's been turned over so many times.
Do I understand enough about nature to know that this isn't normal? I'm a city boy.
Give me a nature check. That looks good, guys.
Can I?
Yep,
Are there
that's
trees
grass.
around?
Ooh.
There are in the distance. So right now you're on kind of 18.
Flat ground.
18.
See, this is not something you normally see.
Now, I know you won't know, but maybe one of you two. Does this look normal? It doesn't look normal to me, but, I mean, for all I know, this is what farmers do. Is this what farmers do?
I'm not a farmer.
I roll my eyes. Just walk away.
Of course I would know. My gardeners tell me about the state of our foliage all the time.
So this is not what proper soil looks like.
This is not what proper soil looks like.
Good to know.
Yeah. So and as you look further out, because you got a pretty good roll for your perception, you look and you see, like, the initial trees in the forest, like, they kind of seem to be at, like, odd kiltered angles.
Does that look odd to anyone else? Those, I mean,
Like, nothing is growing straight.
again, I grew up, there was like one tree in our neighborhood, and that was it. And we all kind of carved our names in it and dressed it up for holidays, but that's about it.
Yeah.
But if I know anything about how the world works, trees don't normally grow at that angle, do they?
Can't say as they do.
Ugh, pansy.
I mean,
See?
tree woman, go check it out yourself then.
I want to go climb the tree.
Okay, so you walk up, and it's about another maybe mile.
Oh,
or
it's
so.
far.
There are a couple of miles. Yeah, so, like, the trees are, like, out in the distance, but y'all walk
I'll
ahead.
follow.
Yeah, so y'all walk ahead. You get into, like, just the base of the forest, and you see that the soil kind of still looks overturned, but now you can see, like, almost these, like geodes of it, where you just kind of, like, tap the soil and it crumbles into these little, like, empty caverns. And you see, like, a lot of the trees are at, like, wild angles. So as you climb up one of the nearest trees, you give me an athletics check.
All of us?
Just her, because she's the
Oh,
one
it's
that
me.
climbed.
I'm climbing the tree.
Also, is a long rest an 8-hour rest?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, cool.
Oh my god, I'm rolling
Apparently
so
high
badly
elves get-
what'd you
tonight.
get?
I have 4
Full
plus
rest
5.
from
That's
short
9.
rest.
Oh, nice.
Which I did not. That's
Alright,
good.
it's a 9.
So that's why you didn't sleep in.
Yeah.
That's why you're up in the morning.
There you go.
So it was a 9.
Yeah.
So you get up the tree, and then it's kind of a weird angle. It's not like a normal tree, and then you just, like, slide, hit the ground.
Oh, that must just be because of the bleeding from the ears.
It balances all.
Yeah, it's the same
Threw
for
me
you
off.
were athletic enough to not take any damage from your fall, but you do hear that sound echoing through the trees. Just like that, this big like thump of just your landing, just and it kind of goes back into the trees.
And I contemplate casting my Pass Without Trace spell. Do we want to be discovered, or do we want to sneak around?
I mean, I feel like if nothing else, we would have the jump on them if we don't get discovered.
Yeah.
We'd have to what?
No, I mean, if nothing else, we would get the jump on them if we were stealth.
Oh,
so
yeah.
That's good.
Alright, so immediately after realizing that I made a shit ton of noise, I cast Pass Without Trace.
Okay, so immediately the noise goes quiet, but everybody else give me a stealth check.
And so pass on the trace, we get plus 10, right? That's how it works.
Veil of Shadows, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, each creature you choose within 30 feet of you has plus 10 bonus to dexterity stealth checks and can't be tracked except on magical means.
Well, that's good.
19.
20.
17.
Okay, cool. So you all immediately just like scuttle under some trees, get beneath some bushes, and it looks like no one's here. But as you, and then everybody roll me perception. That's a lot of rolling, but
No, rolling's great.
16.
22.
21.
Okay. 21 and 22, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
10.
So you two notice
I just switch dice.
you two notice like a bent figure, and it looks like they're wearing like a cloak over their head. Just walk, like you see just at the edge of the trees, and you see this kind of this shadowed, cloaked figure walk forward past you all, and then just out towards the edge, and just turns and starts walking back.
What's Alara doing?
Laura, who is that?
Alara, she says, it was one of the ones, I think, from what's his name?
Salazar.
Salazar's daughter. From Salazar's dossiers. I don't remember his name. And she's like she gently goes over to the pack where she has the papers and she opens it up.
Chad.
Yeah.
And she says it looks like a man named Marlos.
Marcus?
Marlos.
Marcus Dos.
His brother.
His brother is pissed. Somebody killed his brother. Yeah, so a man named Marlos from his descriptions, but there's like some very basic sketchings of him, but they seem like kind of outdated.
Is he by himself?
Yeah, by himself, just walking to the forest.
Walking? Is he like looking for us, or is he just walking?
You just saw a noise made.
He
walked up
did
to
walk
the
back and
trees.
forth. It seems like he would be looking for something.
To see you all help.
I'm imagining like Lord of the Rings tucked under the tree trunk. Like,
Log.
And this guy's busy putting on the ring.
Yeah. Frodo, no.
I'm tempted to have my amulet eat him.
I think
You can.
we should.
Would you like
confront him.
me to make any more predictions, sir?
I believe that your presence was not requested at this time.
Of course, sir. Always available if you need anything, sir.
Thank you. You are most kind, Bartholomew.
Indeed, one must try in this business.
So glad I have a quiet servant.
Thank God. I'm here at servant.
Anna scene. It's like
Like Baxter,
primo.
Baxter servant.
I think we should follow him, but quietly.
I mean, I was going to suggest doing it loudly, but your idea works too.
For now, quietly. Killing him might be louder.
Taking a nap in the grass, but
That's
works
true.
too.
Wait, while we're stealthed, can we like break the stealth on purpose, or are we just
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely.
So we have to continue sneaking in order to like maintain.
I mean,
the-
if you would like to break the stealth and have a conversation with him while we watch, by all means.
I mean, like if we start attacking him,
It breaks the stealth.
Yeah,
sure.
we
But we get.
will be noticed.
So
But
you're
what
invisible,
happens
like,
is
"Whoa."
we get to go one round before he rolls initiative, basically, because we got
because
the
we
jump
get the
on
jump on him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want my unseen servant to trip him or something?
We should try and talk
Yes,
to him
as long as my
first.
invisible mage hand can, soften his blow.
We could talk. Oh, we could talk to him.
I mean,
Invisible mage hand
we could
can-
follow him and see, and then
I think we should follow him.
Yeah.
Follow-
let's
Follow,
him.
yeah.
Okay. So he keeps going through the woods and it starts heading towards those old brick buildings. But about and you almost follow him for a number of miles. So he's walking, y'all are keeping a good pace behind him. The trees start getting thicker. The soil is really tough to walk on. It kind of has these like little things that will crumble beneath you, but you all have you're passing without a trace, as it were. So it's pretty hard, even when you make a misstep to make sounds, and you kind of feel that pressure just like pushing into the back, like almost like this kind of like headache, just like starting to press itself into the back of your skulls almost. And Alana is getting Alara is getting much more like she's freaked out, but it looks like she knows she's where she wants to be. And you just can make out some like low brick building or some low like stonework buildings that look like they've almost just been carved out of the mountain. When suddenly everybody give me a perception check.
When suddenly nobody sees a damn thing.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
23.
That one.
Okay.
13.
What's wrong with me
17.
today?
Okay. 23.
I haven't rolled anything higher than like a 7
So-
today.
You're not doing great.
So you just see Marlos like move really suddenly and then he's gone.
Like vanished, gone, or like ran
You just
somewhere?
can't see him. He's just out of sight.
There are some brick buildings in front of us, you said?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't go in.
I immediately inform everybody with me that Marlos just moved suddenly and disappeared.
Oh,
Yeah.
only you saw.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I quickly checked to make sure he didn't get into my spice fire water.
Still there.
Still,
Yeah.
or you too.
Not for
I
long.
need you on your game.
I don't drink.
Not you.
Hmm.
I'm talking to Pikel.
I thought I said you too.
Oh.
So what you see is up on the surface there's some like people in what looks like less like in large and like kind of like broad hoods, like just people like in normal kind of like in abbot's clothes walking around up at the top between the little buildings. It looks like kind of it's like normal life.
Guys, it's the Big Balls Monastery.
I thought we were gonna fly there. It's not too far.
For all I know, we've gone west. I'm not good with directions.
Yeah.
But I might Lewis and Clark.
Who are they?
I don't know.
Sounds like a good name for an adventuring duo, though.
Just sounded adventurous.
Lewis and Clark.
Oh well, it's Lewis Ann and then
Yeah,
Clark.
Clark. Lewis and
Lewis and
Clark.
Clark. It's one
Lewis
person actually.
and Clark.
Lewis and Clark.
Lewis and Clark's adventures. Roasty.
Let's go over here.
Good gracious. Alright, so
Okay.
I'm just
So we've got disappeared Marlowe, and we got people just living their lives.
living their lives up in the hills.
That's
Living their best lives.
That's cool. And maybe there's some like invisible door.
I definitely think you should do that.
So what are you doing?
I didn't say
This
anything.
one's
I
going
was
through the invisible
suggesting-
door.
I was suggesting we should follow. They seem to think that's a bad idea. So what's your plan?
I'm perfectly fine not dying today, so... Well, yep, there's people here. Oh, look at that.
Luckily, I'm a little bit more robust than you, so I can handle a fight, unlike yourself.
I think we should
Yeah.
go to where he
If by
disappeared.
that you mean you...
Let's
Okay.
keep sneaking.
So y'all sneak
The
up to the
rich
spot
elf
where he
agrees.
disappeared. It just looks like any other part of the forest. You see just like kind of a big boulder, a few kind of trees just sticking out like still at odd angles. And the ground beneath you all is that kind of like same. It looks like it's almost like bubbly. It's just like this crunchy, like hard bubbles almost.
I reach out to touch the area that he was in.
Okay, so give me an investigation check.
You are touching something?
But there's nothing there.
Mm,
What could go wrong?
So you think.
you right.
What is it? Investigation. 16.
Oh wait,
Okay.
I can use my thingy, right? My wand.
Mm.
This would be a good use case for the wand.
What is
But
it?
Do we want to see?
have a
Let's.
16,
I mean,
yeah,
this
see what
costs
that is.
nothing because you only have 3 charges. You only have 3 charges.
Oh.
So you feel around the rock and you see you got a 16.
Mm-hmm.
So as you're doing that, You notice, like, some of the ground beneath you starts changing. So give me an athletics roll real quick.
That's not my strong suit. 18.
Okay, cool. So suddenly the ground starts kind of boiling beneath you, but you're able to dive out of the way just in time, and then suddenly stops boiling.
So,
Seems
for
like
for
that
what
might
it's
be
worth,
done.
should we want to proceed further,
It's a little dirty,
I
shall
do have a very convenient spell that I can use to help us get across this, which is a floating disc,
Intriguing.
which is
Well, it's solidified now, so it's just like back to normal ground now.
If we get on the disc,
just saying. I'm throwing it out there as an option here.
can we make it go down?
It can move vertically up and down up to 20 feet, and it has to stay within 20 feet of me.
He went out. He went down without anything, so it should be okay.
Wait, he went down? I
Uh,
thought
we
he
don't
just
know.
disappeared.
Oh,
We
well,
don't know.
sitting resting, I
Hey,
suppose.
hey, Barty. What the fuck's going on with the soil?
It says, I could investigate, sir.
Damn it, Barty. I don't have anything to give you right now.
Give me a persuasion roll.
This is to find your brother. Oh, that's not bad. 17, 21.
I suppose I could draw on my reserves, but this looks...
You have reserves, Barty.
Sheepy died for nothing.
Sheepy died.
We're gonna have a big discussion about this later.
Ah, sir. You have no idea what kind of reserves I have. But he says,
Noted.
With very light investigation, sir, I can... this seems like the handiwork of my dearest brother. But sadly, it seems that he's masked the door behind a few tricks, sir.
Is it going to kill me if I walk on it? That's all I need to know.
Yes.
God damn it.
Yes.
And I don't suppose you know how to convince this brother of yours to let us pass.
I am not certain. This is a design of his making. It is a machine he's put together. I cannot, no matter what convincing I will do, it will still trigger if improperly dealt with.
I think you should use your wand.
But we know where the door
Kill,
is.
rekill.
The
we?
wand doesn't do anything about the door,
Well,
right?
if the wand lets us know if it's a trap.
Yeah.
If a secret door or trap is within 30 feet of you, the wand pulses and points at the one nearest to you.
So we don't know if it's a door.
That's
or a
all. It
trap.
just tells us where
I think
it
we're
is.
pretty sure.
Yeah.
Pretty
We
sure
know
it's
where it
okay.
is.
It's right there, yeah.
What if we throw something into it and we see what happens?
Ah.
Where's Marcus?
Interesting.
How about one of the donuts?
We're not wasting a donut on...
Okay, I'll
Where's the sheep?
I'll throw a piece of. I have stuff. I'll throw a piece of paper. I have 10 pieces of parchment.
Finally, you're useful.
So as you touch the stone, you see,
This is my only piece.
so
of
like
paper
you put a
I'm
piece of
picking
paper on the ground, nothing happens.
Well, we have to touch the rock, I think.
So
up. I'm not touching it.
Can I do an Arcana check to see if there's any source of magic around here?
yes. So go ahead and roll me Arcana.
And while he's doing that, can I do my primeval awareness
11.
thing?
So you sense that the stone and the ground around it have been charged with magic, but you feel that something else. Yeah, you feel some other magical source, but it's like deeper underground.
Alright. Can I use my primeval awareness? So I can sense whether the following various types of creatures are present within 1 mile: aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead.
Yep.
Oh, I don't have to roll it.
for
Yeah. So
So you sense that there are elementals nearby and undead
within a mile.
within a mile.
Okay. Undead.
least I can hit them.
I'd like to summon my servant.
Okay. Your servant is summoned.
Walk forward.
So it walks forward and
Sacrifice yourself.
It stands in front of the rock.
Touch the rock.
It touches the rock. You sense a sudden sense of panic as your servant is dragged down beneath the soil and crushed.
Can your servant die?
Is he okay?
What happens? Does he like
Is he
respawn?
okay?
I can't communicate with him.
He's crushed. He's dead.
No, he's dead.
Ooh.
Or he's extinguished.
Until you long rest or what?
Or
Now,
until you
what
make
if
a
we
new
just go
You
a
have to
different
use it
Just
way?
to make one? Oh, okay.
What if we
Oh,
just
I
walk
see.
around this rock and go a different direction into the monastery?
We're not at the monastery.
I thought we were.
We saw
There's
monk.
brick buildings
saw
with monks.
people in abbot
Oh,
attire.
that was it.
clothing.
Okay.
That's
okay.
why.
Yeah, we're right outside the town. The
Got it.
monastery was still ways to the
That's
west.
what I thought. Okay, I was confused for the monks.
Then,
Yeah.
but we are near the brick buildings at the base of the mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're close.
I
kinda
was
made
thinking
you
of
guys
these as
walk
two
for a
different
long way.
locations. Okay, so maybe I'm wrong.
I made you guys walk for a long way
Okay.
just to kind of get you close.
So we are close over to
you're
those.
close
Okay,
to
so we are. Oh, we did go that direction. Okay.
Okay.
But you can backpedal y'all too if you want.
And then the place where we saw Marlowe's vanish was not like into the brick building area, right?
No, he vanished right where you're standing,
Okay.
but you're not sure.
Kind of like at the edge of the trees or whatever.
Yeah, he vanished like in that little kind of copse of like there's a stone, there's this kind of soil around it, and trees.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
How do we get in?
Oh, that's a bonus.
DM, any help here?
Everybody give me a perception check.
17.
15.
9.
18?
Alright, and then you got a 17. Give me a investigation check.
Well, she got an 18.
Oh, 18, so then you two give me an investigation check.
It's not a strong suit, but 18.
5.
Okay, so you notice that there looks to be around the rock some scrape marks along the ground. So like in
I
terms of
pointed out
like
to them.
one direction, you see like there's the rock here, and then just like a set of like scrape marks.
I pointed out to them because I'm dumb.
Can I send my mage hand over and
Mhm.
start like just feeling around those scrape marks to see if there's anything around there?
Yeah, so your mage hand goes over there at right at the corner of where the rock meets the earth. It feels a little gap beneath it.
Try and lift it up.
Yeah, I'll have the mage hand just kind of like reach into the gap and see what's in there.
Yeah, so how much strength does it have? Not much, does it? It's like not really. Alright, so it can kind of like get in. It feels that there's like it feels like a line of what feels like kind of carved stone, but it's not able to.
Most it can move is 10 pounds.
Yeah, so it's not able to budge anything in terms of the rock, but it can feel that there's like kind of a seam of stone
Maybe it's like a twist
beneath
top.
the rock.
Where's the wine opener?
So when we saw the ground like moving
Yeah.
and swallowing things, how far was the like? Is the rock like in the middle of where all that was happening?
So the rock's in the middle. Here, maybe I'll draw it.
Like my question is, can I like jump onto the rock?
Without getting.
Potentially.
I want to try to jump. Actually, I will take my hempen rope.
Mm-hmm.
I will tie it around my waist, and I will hand it to these three.
We may or may not hold it.
You're
And
trusting us?
I will hand it to Zuga because I pay him to do this, and then I will leap onto the rock.
You leap onto the rock. Suddenly, the ground around the rock starts boiling.
Mhm.
You still see kind of those scrape marks in that particular area. It does not seem to be boiling. But yeah, you're on the rock. The ground around it's boiling.
And where the scrape marks are they on the ground or are they on the rock?
And give me an athletics check.
Can it be acrobatics?
Yeah, acrobatics is fine.
Acrobatics is good. Acrobatics is plus 10.
Damn.
And I got a nat 20.
Okay, well, nat 20.
That would be a
You lucky
30.
dog.
Do like a backhand spray.
You lucky dog.
30.
You flip
30
on top of the monastery.
Alright, so as you land on the rock, it
I do a front
tips.
flip on my way there.
As you
Landing
land,
splits.
as you do a split to land on the rock, you know, you like use the rope as your guide.
And I flip off the guys at the top of the monastery as I'm doing it.
Yeah. So as you land on the rock, you find that it tips back, and all of them see a doorway under it around the boiling, like in the center of kind of the boiling stone that seems to be untouched. And as you're like tottering, like the rock slides a little bit down the open path. So now you see just a crack in the ground where this rock has been like kind of moved away. That seems to be like squared, and just around the square is just boiling sand, but the square seems untouched.
So we still have to jump into it.
Alright, I'm going to step down into that square. And
Alright.
then
You're
try
still
to...
attached to Zuga.
Zuga's got the other end of the rope,
Yeah.
And then I'll just try to like move it out of the way and like reveal the like whatever
Yeah.
doorway or whatever.
So you get on the stone, you shove the stone the rest of the way. It kind of slides along that track, and then it opens on a staircase and a ladder down. And then once you let go, once you slide the rock out of the way and let go, the ground solidifies. And then you stare into a small ladder down into darkness, and that's where we can end tonight. If it's getting late, or if you guys want to
It
YOLO.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I say go for it because I'm tired.
Yeah.
I randomly
Nice.
woke up at like 5 a.m. this morning, just
Oh.
like wide awake,
That's
and
brutal.
I was like, "This." I tried to go back to sleep and then gave up about 5:30,
It's like,
and then
I don't
That
know.
sucks.
and I'm tired.
Yeah.
Right now.
Well, yeah, get some R&R.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, we uncovered it.
Nice.
Got the door
Nice.
It was a little bit of a
A
struggle.
little bit
It
of
was a
help
struggle.
with it from the DM.
in. Hey, a nat 30, you know,
And,
that doesn't hurt. Rolling like a boss gets you some gimmies.
Do you think we'll find my servant down there? Do you think he's
I have
okay?
high hopes for finding your servant down there.
He'll be with my sheep.
They went to live on a farm together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, rip
I wanna be walking underground and
Sheep,
like
Marcus,
whatever's.
and,
Yeah, I
See you
really,
later.
Somebody
Thanks for hanging out,
loves
everybody.
I really thought we were gonna make friends